What's up, Devon? How you doing, man? What's up, DUI? Michael, what's happening? Natrona back to the lobby. What's up, Peter? Hallelujah. What's up, Rip Van? How you guys doing out there? Do me a favor, please like the video if you don't mind. Double tap the screen and sub only if you like the content. What's up with y'all out there? What y'all got going today? I want October. What is going on with you? Like, really, what is really going on with these people? I honestly don't even want to know. Vita, that's none of your business. Michael said, got working a little bit, been gardening. That's what's up, Michael. Glad to hear that. I have not been gardening, but I'm here nonetheless. What's up, Beckham? Freeze Works. What's up, Freeze Works? Ryan Mullet. What's up, Ryan? Yeah, honestly, I find it rude to ask people about their religion. Yeah, that's like asking people who they voted for. It's like, none of your business. Davey said, getting people thinking can only be a positive thing, bro. Davey, I agree with you 100%. And anybody that disagrees with that, think about what that makes you. Okay? I never come up here and tell people what to think. I never come up here and tell them what is or what is not true. I just tell them to think for themselves. And for some reason, you guys are very hostile toward me. Vita said, I don't think it's rude at all. You know what, Vita? And that's all that matters, right? The only thing that matters is whether or not you think it's rude, right? C. Stomer, I have no idea what that is. Can you explain America is Atlantis? Yeah, absolutely. The reason why America is Atlantis is because of the ancient stories, the ancient maps, the etymology of the word Atlantis, the gold, and the technology that was found here. Load. How in the world do you pronounce your name, bro? Low 2 for Jesus. We're just going low 2. All right. Low 2 said, "How was your night out?" It was pretty good. Yeah, I was chilling. We had a good time. I think you might have told me that last time, right? Low 2 means to pray. Devon said, I believe the original Americans were Atlanteans. Right? Or some people say they were Turtle Islanders. Oh. Your mother said, all these lies, what are they keeping from us? More land. That's what they're keeping from us. More land. All right, guys, like the video, please, and double tap the screen to like the video, and sub if you like the content. Far said, "What's your favorite soda?" I don't drink soda. Devon said Amen was also a deity. That is correct, Devon. Oh, here we go. Schultz said, also, America and other governments have literally admitted to destroying pieces of history that would prove a lot of this modern science wrong. They've destroyed fossils, skeletons, and artifacts. That is correct. And the fact that people will defend these people knowing that they've destroyed all this evidence, admittedly, it lets you know where their mindset is, you know? Far said, what's your go-to drink that's not water? Protein shakes. Protein shakes and tea. C. Stomer said, why would Homer describe Atlantis as the peak of civilization? Yeah, there's tons of evidence that America was and still is the peak of civilization. I don't know if you know this or not, but the technological revolutions around the world coincide with the colonization of America. So it's not a coincidence that, the entire world began to get technology pretty much all out of America. And they're still using this technology around the world to this day.
To this day. To this day. To this day. To this day.
Thank you for that question. Professor said America is the peak of civilization, and cereal is in fact soup. Davey said America is the peak of civilization. This is why everybody around the world copies what's going on in America. And let me not even go. I don't like doing this. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. You guys hate America, okay? But we don't care. I don't know if you know that or not. All right, we actually don't care. So you can just go mind your business. Lucas said, if the technology came from America, how did the Europeans take over? Well, they took over because the Americans were too nice and wealthy. Yeah, the Americans were nice, wealthy, abundant people. So they couldn't imagine the idea of people trying to take over other people because, why the hell would anybody want to do that when we already have everything we need in America? Correct. Yeah, this is why they were able to marry into wealthy families and then mobilize these Native American families against each other, creating these mass conflicts. Smith said Queen Europa was a Phoenician Moor. C. Stomer said, just literally think about this, right? If there was steam-powered engines in the Americas before colonizations, why wouldn't they implement that in the 1700s? But the Industrial Revolution started in the 1850s. The reason why the Industrial Revolution started between 1800 and 1850 is because that's when the Europeans took over America. All right? When did the Europeans take over America? 1776. Right after 1776, you have the 1800s, Industrial Revolution. All right, turn your brain on. Turn your brain on. Lucas said, did the Native Americans have conflict before they arrived? Not really, not mass conflict. There was nothing to fight about. If you read what the Europeans were saying, that the Native Americans were, I don't want to use the word lazy, but they were a leisurely society that didn't even hunt for food. Do you understand that they did not hunt for food? They only hunted for game. They ate vegetables, fruit, and fish mainly. It literally says that they barely ate meat. They never hunted for food. They only hunted for sport. So there was no need to have conflict with each other because they already had everything they needed. Can I ask you how old our planet really? Lee Elliott, how would I know something like that? I want you to educate me. How would I figure out how old the planet is really? Please let me know. Shout out Tony. Tony said, I agree with most mentioned here. Guys, do me a favor. Please like the video. Double tap the screen and sub if you like the content, please. Bruce Jackson said, we are not from Africa. Lee Elliott said, I just thought that you knew about that sort of thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend. Lee Elliott, I asked you a question. I don't know if you heard me. I said, how would I know something like that? I never said I was offended. I just want to know how you expect me to know something like that. And how would you go about figuring that out? That's what I want to know. That's the question I asked you. So you can ask me a question, but if I ask you a question, I'm offended. Brizzle said Native Americans did hunt game for food. Not really, actually. Not according to the European settlers. You know, the people that actually came here and wrote about what they saw. That's not what they said. That's how I know that your version of history is 100% lies, because you've never read any primary documents about what was really going on here in America. Lee Elliott said, you are very arrogant. All right, let's review this conversation real quick with Lee Elliott before I ultimately ban them and send them back to the lobby for being an absolute buffoon. So Lee Elliott said, can I ask how old our planet is? I said, Lee Elliott, how would I go about figuring something like that out? Lee Elliott said, I just thought that you knew that sort of thing. I didn't mean to offend you. I said, I never said I was offended. I just asked you a question back. I'm like, you can ask me a question, but I can't ask you a question back without being offended. Lee Elliott says, you are arrogant. Lee Elliott, you can go back to the lobby now. Stormer said, no, he is not arrogant. He tries to find out a way to communicate. Don't rage him. I want to debate. Yeah, I'm like, listen, I legitimately asked him a question back, and because he can't answer that, now I'm, being offended. All right. Precept said, what's your nationality? My nationality is American. Devon said, I'm only human. What's up, Indigo Girl? Harris Seed. Linda. What's up, Linda? Ryan said, most reasonable YouTuber. I was gonna say, like, I'm not up here doing any kind of troll shit. I'm not out in public bothering people at all. I'm sitting in my room talking about concepts, allowing people to give me pushback, and you guys are very upset for some reason. The people who are upset at this are the people that think that they should control the rest of the world. That's literally all it is. They think they should control the rest of the world, and they don't like me being free. What's up, Indigo Girl? Summer said, I like your glasses. Thank you so much, Summer. I appreciate that. Ryan said, can you elaborate on how the earth isn't moving? Well, I can't tell you how it's not moving, but I can tell you how we know it's not moving, and that's because of the scientific method. The scientific method requires an experiment in order for something to be considered a scientific theory. There's no experiments that prove the earth is moving. So because there are no experiments, it's not a scientific theory. So if we're speaking strictly to the scientific method, we know the earth is not moving. Strictly to the scientific method. Satellites prove the earth is not moving, all right? EM, satellites prove the earth is not moving mathematically. Convoy said, what do you mean by we not African? Convoy, the out of Africa theory is a lie to specifically cover up the fact that in America, the Native Americans were not eliminated. They were reclassified as the N word, the C word, the B word, and now, of course, the A word. So that is why they came up with the out of Africa theory, because they reclassified these indigenous populations in order to take over their land. Summer said, do you have pets? Summer, we are not on a date right now, okay? Shout out you though, I appreciate it, but we're not on a date. And yes, I do have dogs, okay? Harris Seed, you are correct about that. But again, you know, we're going to leave the geopolitics on the back burner for now. But I agree with you, Harris Seed. You know, I've been like that since 2010 when I went to school for political science. I started looking at, I basically started walking around like that episode in Rick and Morty when they switched timelines. Was that season 1, episode 8? Yeah, season 1, episode 8 of Rick and Morty. Remember when they switched timelines after they ruined the world? And Rick doesn't care. He's just sitting there drinking a beer. Morty's walking around like he's just looking at everybody like in disbelief that now he's the only one in the world that actually knows what's going on. That's how I've been walking around since 2010. Go Girl, why did you remove Bruce Jackson's comment? Bruce, did you say something else out of bounds? Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, Bruce is on that bullshit, it looks like. No, actually, no, I don't think so. Yeah. Bruce, listen, Go Girl, Bruce is on our side. Not that matters or anything, but he's not trolling, okay? Yeah, Bruce is not trolling, just so you guys know. Matter of fact, hold up, Bruce. Shout out, Bruce. I appreciate you for tuning in, my brother. Monkey said, what is your definition of history? In this case, when I'm talking about history, I'm talking about the version of history that we get in history class. The version of history that we get in history class, okay? Merge said, by dinosaurs equal dragons, do you mean pterodactyls? No, I mean that dragons are made up, dinosaurs are made up and dragons are real animals. That's what I mean. Dragons are real and dinosaurs are made up. And if there is any credible fossils or bone evidence that you think suggests large reptiles, these are dragons, not dinosaurs. Harris Seed said, if you continue to assume the sun is 93 million miles away, you will never get it. It's Juan said, how does the world spin at 65,000 miles per hour? And also the space station apparently orbits the entire planet in 90 minutes. Makes no sense to me. Shout out, it's Juan. Steven said, taking credit for everyone else's historical accomplishments because your people haven't made any meaningful contributions. You know what? Steven is talking about the Europeans right now, right? Shout out Stephen Wiley, you know what I mean? Listen, I just want to be clear. Despite Stephen Wiley's comments, we are not against Europeans up here. But Stephen is right? Yeah, again, you know, the Europeans, they go to everybody's country and they steal the land and accomplishments of all of these people and pretend like it's theirs because they haven't made any meaningful contributions. Listen, I don't believe that the Europeans have not made any meaningful contributions. They may not have made any, progressive contributions, but they've made contributions. I mean, number one, they're hilarious. I mean, they've made significant contributions to comedy, and comedy, is a big part of my life. And so I love Europeans because they're so damn funny. But you're right. Listen, I know they go around and they pretend to be Asian. They pretend to be African. They pretend to be Australian. No offense to my Australians. They pretend to be American, even though they are from Europe. Well, actually, they're not even from Europe. They're pretending to be Europeans too. Even though they're pretending to be Europeans. Oh, wait, they're pretending to be Caucasians, right? Listen, even though the quote unquote light-skinned Europeans are pretending to be all these people and stealing these people's contributions and names, that doesn't mean that they don't have any contributions at all. All right? I do not agree with that, although I understand what you're saying, Stephen Wiley. I do understand what you're saying. Thank you for that comment, although I disagree. Shout out, Steve. Steve has something against Europeans. I don't know what it is, but Get Some Money said, what do you mean by America equals Atlantis? Give me a second. I'll go back over that. CC said, hey, how can you verify, man? How are dragons dinosaurs? Couldn't they both exist? You didn't live 60 million years ago. Neither did you. If you're saying I didn't live 60 million years ago, and that's why I don't know, why are you claiming that somebody else would know when they also didn't live 60 million years ago? By the way, carbon dating does not go back 60 million years. So it is impossible to know whether or not a fossil was from 60 million years ago, especially using carbon dating. So you are demonstrating a fundamental misunderstanding of the conversation. Okay, now the reason why America is Atlantis is because of the stories and maps that describe its location. The gold and technology that was found here by the Europeans, and then the etymology, the most important part, the etymology of the word Atlantis. Dab said, I need you to understand that the Jays lied about our history. Dab, I need you to understand that they're not Jays, they're Europeans. All right? Do not mischaracterize these people as Jays. They are Europeans. All right? Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. No, the Europeans, that's where they're from. They're from Europe. I don't know if you know that or not. They're not from J-land or whatever that. There's not even a place called that. Yeah. So yeah, they're from Europe, buddy. All right. If you're gonna call people out, call out the right people. Okay. Don't give people blame for stuff that they didn't do. The Europeans are the ones going around the planet doing all this, not the Jays. Yeah. I'm just saying, don't point the finger at somebody if you don't want the three fingers pointed back at you. Don't do that. Oh, he's an idiot. Oh, so you can blame the Jays, but I can't blame the real people? You see? CC, do not spam my chat or I'm going to see it too late. Diesel said he's right. Of course I'm right. I'm like I said, listen, they can call themselves whatever they want. That's not confirmed. You know what's confirmed? The Europe part. So let's just be as specific as we can without blaming people that are not to blame. No, the Europeans are doing this. That's why you have European education all around the world. Do you have J education around the world? Nope, you got European education around the world. Free my grandma, you're right, but again, you already know we gotta abbreviate these things. You know, we don't want them to know that we're talking about them. Well, they can know, but you know, don't make it easy for them. Guys, do me a favor, please like the video if you don't mind. Double tap the screen and sub if you like the content. Dab TV, I'm probably about to ban you and send you back to the lobby, bro. I'm pretty sure you're a troll. As a matter of fact, yeah, you are a troll. I'm reading your mind right now. You're a troll, bro. Yeah, Daily, I've answered that question like 1,000 times. Honestly, it's kind of stupid, and I want you to figure it out on your own. Yeah, I'm not answering that dumb question. Look, this is what you sound like. Here you go, Daily. This is what you sound like. Why do the stars look different when I'm looking from different places? That's what you sound like. I don't get it. I'm at a different spot, and the stars look different. Uh, it's Juan said all this technology, and we actually rely on dino juice to power the world. EM said, offer facts on why all of the planets spin, but we don't. Emo, offer facts that all of the other planets spin. If you can offer facts that prove that the other planets spin, then we can start talking about whether or not the Earth spins because of that. But I've never seen anybody show me a fact that proves that other planets spin. Guys, double tap the screen to like the video and sub only if you like the content, please. Check Yourself said cables are used for cell phones. Check Yourself said the cables are under the ocean. Suffix, yeah, I'm not gonna answer your question, bro, because you're a troll. I saw what you said earlier, man. Like, I don't get why you guys come in here, think that you're gonna disrespect me in the chat, and now I have to answer your questions after you are just in here trying to troll me and shit. Haraseed said, I'm insane because I refuse to trust our captors. Wrong Snell said, why is America Atlantis? The reason why America is Atlantis is because of the stories and maps that confirm this. The Europeans that came here and talked about the gold and technology that they found, and also the etymology of the word Atlantis. Gibson said, I don't trust our captors either. Gibson, yes, you do, because you're in here defending them right now like an absolute moron. That's literally you. Everything you believe, Gibson, comes from your captors, and you're up here defending it right now. So, yeah, Haraseed is 100% right. You are in love with your captors. You don't just defend them, you're in love with Europeans, bro. You might be European yourself, but I'm just saying you're in love with Europeans. That's why you're defending their narrative. What? The Europeans didn't tell me that. This is you guys in the chat. What? The Europeans never told me that, so it can't be real. This is you. I didn't learn that from the Europeans, so who is this black guy? That's y'all. Paris has a question for the chat. What does etymology mean? No Googling, chat. All right. Paris wants to know if you guys know what etymology means. Look it up. I mean, don't look it up. Trip said, don't be broke. Support. You will get the priority. Yeah, listen, for all you guys that want me to answer your question, again, if it's not interesting, then I'm not going to feel compelled to answer it. But if it's really that big a deal, you can send a $2 super chat. If you can't afford the $2, then get your ass off YouTube and go to work. You don't have to though, all right? I'm just going to read the comments that I feel like reading. Arakuda said the study of words. Can you please further explain the we equals not African with Pangea? You explained it briefly, but you weren't very clear. I disagree with you 100%. See, this is why I don't get, why do you guys have to add that extra shit in there? You know what I mean? I'm too petty for all this. All you had to do was ask the question. Can you explain further what the we not equals African thing with Pangea? But now you're saying I explained it briefly, but I wasn't clear. No, I was definitely clear. You're just a moron, all right? The out of Africa theory is a lie to justify reclassifying the Native Americans as black and the N word and the C word, all right? That's very specific. The Native Americans were reclassified. I don't understand what's vague about that. Maybe your thinking is vague, but that's a you problem. See, I'm just saying, if you would have asked the question, I would have just answered it. But you added all that in there for some reason. Y'all need to calm down with the pretentiousness. I mean, you explained it, but you just weren't clear. No, I was clear. You're just stupid. You're so rude. Oh my God, that's a fact. I'm super rude, bro. I'm the rudest of the rude. This is real offended. I don't know what show you thought you were calling into, but this one is not getting softer. This one is not getting softer, all right? No, I'm being 100% clear, okay? The Native Americans were reclassified as African American. If you're black in America, you are a Native American unless you can trace direct family members back to Africa. If you can't trace direct family members back to Africa, you are Native American, period. And the out of Africa theory is a lie to cover this up. Very specific. Yeah, the Europeans told you you came from Africa, and you believe them because you're in love with Europeans. Yusuf said, saying you're from Africa is like saying you're from Walmart. Yeah, Trip, that was wild. That was egregious work. This is nasty, egregious work. My Cario said, I love Europeans, but not African. Well, just so you know, the Africans are Europeans. I don't really know what you meant by that, though. Crunchy said, I would be mad if my ancestors came from caves. Crunchy, who are you talking about? I have to know before I, I don't want to overreact. Who are you talking about, Crunchy? Are you talking about, you're saying you would be upset if you were Europe? Oh, okay. I'm looking at your profile picture now and I get it. All right, never mind, Crunchy. All right, Crunchy is right. Yeah, I get it now, Crunchy. My bad. I had to go look at your page to see who you were. Yeah, shout out Crunchy. Honestly, Crunchy, it gets upset. Listen, I've been really cooking the Europeans the last few days with their own history. they haven't liked it, needless to say. And I literally said this word for word, Crunchy. I said this word for word. I'm like, if you are from Europe, why would you be mad at me telling you the real history? Like I wouldn't be upset if people were showing me the real history of America, no matter what it was. All right, no matter what the history was, I would want to know the truth because this is where I'm from. They are allegedly from Europe, but when you start telling them the history, they get mad. It don't make no sense. But like Crunchy is saying, they're mad because they don't want to deal with the fact that their ancestors might possibly be from caves, and yet they find a way to justify looking down on other people. I mean, it's you know. He's like, imagine that. Imagine if your group is characterized by looking down on other people, but then when you go in history, you realize that your people might have been the lowest of the low. And like I said, if that was my history, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Think about when they told black people that we were slaves in America, we never had a problem with that. We never said, oh my God, no, I wasn't. No, we said, oh, we were slaves? Well, look at how great we are that we came from that. Oh, we were this? Well, look at how great. You see, you guys will hear about your history and be like, no. Well, if that was true, then how did white people invent everything? This is what y'all dumb idiots say. Well, if it's true that white people came from caves, how did we invent everything? How did we invent everything while also admitting that they go around the world stealing everything? You invented everything and also go around the world stealing everything. Both things. Yes, no, honestly, it makes sense. The greatest thieves of all time are often the greatest inventors. See, look, Jay Cochran said there's no such thing as reverse R word. How is talking about the truth of Europe the R word? You see, you think it's the R word because that's what you are, right? You are the R word, and that's how you look at other people. And so you lie. Yeah. Telling the truth is not the R word. Lying is the R word. If you lie on other people, on other groups, that's being the R word. Telling the truth is not doing that. That would be the opposite. Free My Grandma said Flintstones is a prime example. Isn't that hilarious, right? Hey, you guys want to know why they don't show any black people in the Flintstones? Because the black people had cars by that time. Wasn't no foot-powered machinery going on in Moorish Europe. They probably had, you see all these drawings, you see of spaceships? Hey, you ever look at the Egyptian hieroglyphs and you see spaceships on the wall? Why do you think you see spaceships on the wall? Because black people was flying around in spaceships. Hey, I'm starting to see spaceships on Banghead. Listen. I'm just saying, why do you think that they drew computer? They actually have a physical hieroglyph on an Egyptian wall that looks like somebody looking in front of a computer. Looks like somebody in a spaceship. Looks like somebody using technology. Yeah, are you starting to put it together now? Don Lucas said there is no drawings of black people in caves. I don't actually know if that's true. I can tell you what though, when these light-skinned Europeans were living in caves, the black Moorish Europeans, they weren't just living in castles. They had the technology to build these castles. They had the technology to build the castles. You know, the technology that we don't have today. Yes, these black Moors in Europe had the technology to build all of these buildings in Europe. You see? That's why the Flintstones don't show any black people. Yeah, see, hey, by the time the Flintstones was going on, the black people was living like the Jetsons. Hey, and that's why his name is Elroy. Oh my God. You see, Mike said the internet was a mistake. Mike, number one, it doesn't matter whether or not you think the internet was a mistake because you didn't invent the internet. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was also with major contributions from black Americans that the internet was invented. But like I've been saying, this technology more than likely existed long before the Europeans got here. So, as a person that goes around the world stealing stuff, I don't think you should have a say so in what is and what is not a necessary invention. You know what I mean? Leave that to the inventors, all right? We'll talk about what is and what is not a good invention. You just worry about trying to hide all the shit that you stole. All right? Celine said, if someone has ancestors from the Philippines, where are they originally from? How would I know that? I'm not from the Philippines. Don Lucas said they stole everything, right? Think about it. They stole everything, and now they're telling us that the inventions that we made, that they stole, were a mistake. You know why you think that it was a mistake? Because you can't lie anymore. Yeah, you know why? Because it's easier to burn books than it is to burn the internet. Hey, if we learned anything from the Age of Ultron, has anybody seen or read The Age of Ultron? One of the greatest comics and one of the greatest comic book movies of all time. If we learned anything from The Age of Ultron, it's easier to burn a book than it is to burn the internet. 914 said cave ninjas didn't know how to read and write. They were sleeping with the animals. Moore showed them how to read, write, bathe, and taught them the importance of barns. Why they keep saying cave ninjas? Crunchy, you want to know why they keep saying cave ninjas? Crunchy, are you sure you want to know that? All right, Crunchy, you asked, and so I'll show you, but it's going to trigger a lot of people, okay, Crunchy? It is going to trigger a lot of people, all right? But just, if you guys are mad at me, what's up, Bernie? Bernie, thank you for the gold coin. If you guys are mad at me, blame Crunchy, okay? Because he asked for this.
Donations, gifts.
Crunchy, if you must know why they call them cave dwellers, well, here you go. You see, earlier somebody came in here, right? Yeah, earlier somebody came in here and they called me SPEAR Chucker, right? Think about it. Earlier somebody came in here and they called me SPEAR Chucker, right? Think about it. That's totally fine, right? It's totally okay for you guys to call us that. It's totally okay for you guys to go around the world lying about who we are. It's totally okay for not just to lie, for you guys to physically steal our stuff, right? You guys can call us the N-word, right? You guys can call us any number of things, do any number of things to us, right? You guys can go around the world taking women, right? Forcing copulation. You guys can go around the world burning libraries, right? Burning people's history. You guys can do all that, right? And we're supposed to just be like, oh yeah, that's totally cool. No. Keep going. We're supposed to be like, keep going, right? That's what we're supposed to do. No, keep going. But if I come and I show you a picture from a German museum, not some made up bullshit out of my mouth, a tapestry, one of the most expensive pieces of art that you could probably find in the entire world. I show you a German tapestry from an actual museum, and now I'm being what? What am I? What am I being in the chat? I'm the R word, right? Because I'm showing you what the Germans put in their own museums. The Germans put this in their own museums, and I'm the evil one, but you're not evil for going around the planet, forcing copulation on women, unaliving entire civilizations, stealing people's land, burning resources, burning down libraries. You guys can do all that, right? And yeah, no, it's all good. Ha! I'm just saying, for all the Europeans in the chat that are upset, go to hell. I'm talking to my friends right now, all right? All my friends in the chat. All my European friends. You go, oh, I can't believe he keeps doing this. Go to hell. I can't believe your family keeps doing that. What? Do you have anything to say to your family about what they're doing right now in the world? You don't, right? All right, so shut the hell up when you're talking to me, all right? Shut your stupid ass up talking to me about anything when I bring up what's going on in Europe. I don't give a damn how you feel about it. You don't care about how I feel, right? Listen, I care about how you feel about as much as y'all care about how we feel all these last 400 years, all right? Well, don't you care about how you make the Europeans feel? Yeah, I care about them about as much as they've been caring about me all these years. I don't want to hear shit. This is you. Hey, don't tell a lie on me, and I won't tell the truth about you. You out your damn mind. Shout out all my Europeans out there that get it, because like I said, you know I love y'all. You know, the Australians mainly. The Australians know that I don't mean no harm, but you're not gonna lie on me and me not bring up the reality. You're out of your mind. If you ever think I'm gonna ever allow that happen in this lifetime. All right, in this lifetime, never. Y'all gonna have to wait until I'm gone, bro. All right, while I'm here, I'm like Joel Embiid. All right, listen, I'm like Joel Embiid. I might be hurt sometimes, but when I'm in the game, game over. All right, if I'm in the game, game over. Give a damn what y'all talking about. What the F is going on? We're talking about the history of Europe right now, again. I mean, there's a lot of Europeans in here that are upset at me. Yeah, they're upset at me. Oh my God. Why are you talking about the truth about our history? Why are you telling the truth about what we did? Because I don't give a shit about you, Slime. I don't care about you, your feelings, or nothing like that. I could never even have the capacity to care about what the hell you think. You know why? Because how much do you care about what I think? Yeah, think about it. How often are you considering how I feel when your family is doing what they're doing? Probably never, right? All right, so it's fair game. Fair game. You don't care about me, I don't care about you. Somebody said, I thought Europe was the colonizers. Yeah, they were. Listen, and you want to know, not only are they the colonizers, they're the only colonizers. You want to know why? Especially in modern history. Think about, we're supposed to be sophisticated people by now, right? You know why there is only one group that still thinks it's okay to colonize? Why do you think that is? Can anybody guess? Why is there one group that still thinks it's okay to go around stealing other people's stuff and lying about it? Why do you think they're so barbaric and inhumane? that they think it's okay to do what they're doing in the Middle East. It's okay to do what they're doing in Southern America. It's okay to do what they've been doing in Africa and Asia and North America. Why do you think there's only one group that still think that's okay? You want to know why some of them still act like animals? And yet, they tell us that we act like animals, right? Oh, how hilarious. My bad, I missed some super chats. Shemaya, thank you for the $5. Do you think the world is moving on the right path to enlightenment or back to the cave times? It's an interesting question. I think they are moving on the right path to enlightenment. I don't know what you necessarily mean by the cave times because, listen, while some people were living in caves, others were not. Yeah, some people was living in caves. Some of us, we don't do that. Philo, thank you for the $5. Oh, my bad, hold up. I meant to give you this.
Donations, gifts, donations, gifts,
Yep.
gifts.
Here we go. Philo said, remember, they care, right? They care by sending troops dressed with the letter blank to free us. Sending troops to spread freedom. Exactly, right? How often do you guys think about what the people in these countries that you're sending troops to feel? How often do you guys think about that? That's how often I'm thinking about you. All right? There you go. All right, I don't want to hear shit. Shemaya, thank you for the clock it and the mic drop. I appreciate that.
Donations, gifts.
Again, y'all know I don't got no problem with you, okay? But you're not gonna come in here and disrespect me by lying and not expect me to show you the utmost respect by telling you the truth. All right, you disrespect me, I respect you back by telling you the truth, though. I'm not like you. I don't go around the world lying and stealing other people's stuff. So I have no reason to lie. You know what I mean? I come from sophisticated people that are hyper-focused on making society better, not serving my own interest. All right? I know you guys can't even understand shit like that, right? Well, I think everybody is evil if you would allow them to be. No, bitch! Everybody's not evil if you would allow them to be. You understand? Some of us, we didn't grow up like that. We grew up in a community, thinking about the world in terms of communities and how to make the world better for the next generation, not ruin the world, which is what y'all do. I digress. All right, if the shoe don't fit, don't put it on. Tyler said sophisticated. Oh, Tyler, I bet you find that hilarious, huh? Hey, imagine this person laughing at this person for being sophisticated. Oh, isn't that hilarious, right? Look at these people. Sophisticated. Did you shower today? No. Look. Here's it. Oh, you guys think you're sophisticated. Do you guys even live older than 25? Is there anybody in your community above the age of 50? Hey, look. TWO said we was kings. TWO, I didn't say that. The Germans are the ones that said that, all right? If you are mad at black people being depicted as kings, go blame the Germans. All right? This is not me. I didn't do this to you. Listen, I did not do this to y'all. I didn't paint this. Hey, I did not paint this. All right? This is not my painting. This is your painting. This is from the Germans. Oh, yeah. These are the Aryans right here, boy. Oh, yeah. Don't get mad at me because of what you did to yourself, all right? Hey, you did this to yourself. This don't got nothing to do with me. This ain't got nothing to do with me. Hey, this is a painting from the 1400s, mind you. This is what y'all look like in the 1400s. Listen, in Germany, all right? In Germany. I didn't make this. Togar said, "What the F is that thing? These are your ancestors. This is your uncle right here. These are your people." Yeah, ancient Germans, 1400s. Yeah. Heresy said Charles V was a dark-skinned person. This is correct. Free My Grandma said, "I be that baby's poppy." Listen, man, I don't like doing this to y'all, but you're not going to come up here and disrespect me. You're not going to come up here and disrespect black people, okay? That's not what we do in here, all right? What we do in here is tell the truth. So you tell a lie on us, we tell the truth about you. That's how we handle that. Yeah, we do it just like that, you know what I mean? Alex said we was kings and shit. Alex, again, I didn't say that, all right? It was the Germans that said that. Go blame the Germans for pointing out the fact that the kings of Europe were black. Go get mad at the Germans. Juan said King James and his two sons in the UK were black as well. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. But Linda, you see why I have to do this though, right? I mean, Linda, I know you understand. It's like, it's not that I have anything against Europeans, but listen, I'm not the guy that's gonna let it go. All right, listen, I'm not the one. All right, I'm the one that's gonna give you absolutely everything that you ask for and more. Yeah, I have no problem with that. You're rude, you're damn right. You're mean, of course. You're crazy. I would back up if I was you. Free My Grandma said, God forgives, but we don't. Free My Grandma, I'll say this, okay? I certainly do forgive them. And you know what? To me, there's nothing to forgive, right? There's nothing to forgive. Listen, people are evil. It is what it is. I don't spend time focusing on that or thinking that they owe me anything. Yeah, listen, I may forgive them, but forget? Hey. The North remembers, all right? You guys might be able to fool the people in Africa. You might be able to fool the people in Asia. You might be able to fool the people in Australia. You might be able to fool the people in Europe. Although Australia and Europe, a lot of them actually know what's really going on. So it's really difficult to fool the Europeans. You know what I mean? Like I said, that's why I believe that the Europeans that are on the other side, they are intentionally trying to drive this evil because there are so many Europeans that are aware of what's going on, right? So it's difficult to fool the Europeans, but maybe you can fool some of the Europeans. You might be able to fool the Southern Americans, but the North remembers. So what about what the Moors did to Spain or Sicily? You're going to have to elaborate on that. What are you claiming the Moors did to Spain or Sicily? And where is this evidence coming from? This day, it said, it used to turn me off when you cook people in the chats, but after watching for a while, I get it. Yeah, listen, I spend the beginning of the live ignoring people, you know? That's why I hide a lot of people in the chat. I end up just like hiding people that are trolling me because I know that they're trying to get a rise out of me, and I know that I'm gonna give it to them because I don't care. Okay, so every now and then when you see me flash, it's because listen, I'm reading the comments, and I'm like, listen, this is what the energy is in the comments right now, and it has to be dealt with. That's why I'm here. I'm here to deal with this energy. Doing Big Things said, stop muting people when they fact check you. Yeah, nobody has ever fact checked me and disagreed with me, number one. And I've never muted anybody for doing that, all right? Stop lying in 4K. Green said, bro, I'm Egyptian. Egypt had it worst. Except that we Egyptians don't go on and disrespect people out of nowhere. Are you an Arabian Egyptian or a dark-skinned Egyptian? Green, I'm asking you. Dark Link said, you've called out banning people not even 20 minutes ago. I don't even know what that means. But yeah, I always call out people for to not ban people that are participating in the conversation. And I always ban people when I find out they're trolling. Green said Arab, right. Listen, Green, I don't think you're in the position to be telling us how bad you guys had it in Egypt, bud. You were the one doing the bad things in Egypt. Your people were the ones doing the bad stuff. Tyler said the Moors colonized Spain and Sicily for 800 years. What is this based on, Tyler? What do you mean they colonized Spain? The fact that they lived in Spain and Sicily, that doesn't mean that they necessarily colonized it. Are you saying that they were there for all those years and that's why the Europeans say that they colonized it? Because that would be the only explanation on why there is a random set of history with a bunch of black people building everything? Yeah, because if they don't say that the Moors colonized it, then they have to admit that the Moors were the first people there. They didn't colonize it. They were the first people there. Green said, I studied the whole Egyptian history and I know what I'm saying. Right? Imagine that, right? An Arab Egyptian telling us that he knows the real history of Egypt because he studied it. Listen, as an Arab, let me tell you the truth. You're really not Arab, you're European. Yeah, listen, again, I don't like when people lie, so I gotta tell the truth. As an Arab, you're really just a European, bro. You are a European that mixed with the indigenous populations of this group, and then your Arabian group was elevated to a point of status because you were related to the Europeans. That's why the Arabians run North Africa and the Middle East right now. Because the Europeans invaded, had children, and then they gave their children the seats of power. Those are the Arabians. You. As a matter of fact, let me show you who you look. Look, if you take one of these, right, like a dark-skinned Moor, and you mix it with a wild man, you have an Arabian. Wonder why a lot, and shout out all my Arabians, okay? Listen, if you can't take it, then get out the kitchen, all right? You ever wonder why, like the Arabians are like civilized, but like kind of? Bro, listen, I'm joking, all right? Relax. All right, you guys are too sensitive. Buddy said fairy tale picture from Germany. What do you mean fairy tale? No, this is out of a museum. This is from metmuseum.org. This painting is dated between 1470 and 1491. Yeah, this is physically in the museum. And the other one that I brought up is a tapestry, which is like some most expensive art that you could possibly make. This is probably one of the most expensive art pieces that exist in the world. Honestly, it's probably technically priceless. Yeah, technically, this art piece is priceless. It can never be recreated. The leader said the original inhabitants of Sicily were native Sicilians and Greeks and Italians. Yeah, all of these people were Moors. Yeah, all of these people, they were Moors. Listen, the reason why you think they weren't is because the Europeans told you that. The Europeans are stealing their history. Do you see? Same thing they're doing in America, same thing they did in Australia, they did it in Europe too. Yeah, you guys aren't the original Europeans. Yeah, listen, man. The modern day Europeans, yeah, they've changed everybody's history. I don't know if you guys know that or not. So of course you guys think that the Moors colonized it from you guys. No, idiot. Are you out of your mind? Green said, so you admit that you are European. Green, I'm going to ignore you for the rest of the time, all right? Harris Seed said, if you show something that conflicts with my illusion, I will appeal to the consensus, indoctrination, and hand wave dismiss it. The leader said, so what are you then? I am American. Casey said, another false teacher. I'm not a teacher, Casey. I am a student. LUK said, if the modern Europeans changed all of history, how could they do this if they were simply animalistic barbarians? I never said they were simply animalistic barbarians. That word never came out of my mouth. Yeah, I mean, they might have looked like this. That don't mean that they were simply animalistic barbarians. Like, they might have been intelligent people. They just weren't intelligent enough to know that they should shower and shave and put on clothes and make barns so that way they can live past 25. That don't mean that they were like simplistic barbarians that didn't have language or anything like that. I'm sure, honestly, dog, this is so funny. Dude, I'm pretty sure it was basically like the story of Tarzan. You know how Jane found Tarzan and taught him to be civilized? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Yeah, you probably had, a black dude that seen one of these people, and when he realized that he was able to communicate with him, was like, why are these people out here living like this? Let's show them the way. Let's show them how to bathe. Oh, by the way, this is recorded. Let's show them how to bathe. Let's show them how to build houses. Let's show them how to have civilization, right? So they showed them how to have civilization. They took them out of the jungle. But you know what they say? Hey, you can take a wild man out the jungle, but you can't take the jungle out the wild man. So that's why even though they are civilized, they still act barbarically around the entire world till this day.
To this day. To this day.
I'm not talking about all of them, but you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, there's a group of Europeans that still think it's okay for them to act barbarically. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? And you know what I just realized? See, this is for my black people in the chat, all right? This whole time, when we heard white people use the term jungle fever, We thought that they were disrespecting us, right? By saying that we were but turns out when they were saying jungle fever, turns out they wasn't talking about us. I get it now, though. Now I get the jungle. I get it now. Insert said large groups of dangerous on both sides. I disagree 100%. There are not large groups of people that are not European going to other continents, colonizing other people, stealing their stuff, especially not in modern day history. You guys are doing that in 2020 damn 6. Y'all are doing that in 2026. Did you hear Asmongold's stupid ass the other day? Asmongold like an idiot. No, I think we should escalate the conflict in the Middle East. This is y'all, all right? These are Europeans saying this stupid shit. No, I think we should go to the Middle East, escalate the conflict, so that way more people can be unalived. Why? Because we should control them. This is going on right now. I don't want to hear it. Shut your stupid ass up. No, it ain't large groups of people on both sides doing it. It's just you, bitch. It's just you, actually. Oh, well, everybody's doing it. See, that is what people who are evil say, right? When we all come together and call somebody out for being evil, right? Look at his response. Everybody's evil. Everybody's evil, and so that makes it okay for you to be evil. That's your justification. But how come everybody's not evil then? Oh, okay, so you're just saying that so that way you feel better about the fact that you are evil. Sorry, it took me too long to find that. But yeah, this is a fact. All right, I get it. You guys are evil, and it makes you feel better to think that we're evil too. Bitch, we're not. Now what? You're just evil. It's just you. It's just him. Anything to justify going around and stealing other people. Anything to justify the evil. That's crazy, man. It's not crazy, honestly. That's why I treat you the way that I do. Because I know you guys are evil. I'm talking about the people in here defending this. Oh, yeah. Oh, whoa. Everybody's evil. Right. If you think everybody's evil, that's only because you're evil. Because if you're not evil, how could you think everybody's evil? How could you think that if you're not evil? You couldn't. You know why I know everybody's not evil? Because I'm not evil. Wandering said, can you explain the transition between Roman-ruled Spain to the Moor-ruled Spain? A lot of that Roman history is fabricated. Some people even believe that it happened in America and not Europe. Shout out a mi madre. Bernie said, I could be wild and out, but the blank has similar behaviors. Guys, if you would like to call into the show, you can call in from the Discord. When you get, the Discord is on my page. When you get in there, join the live show tab. Sharon said, LOL, hello. You are correct. You've uncovered them. Off with the masks. 914 said, sharing information does not make you a teacher. What's up, Terry?
Man up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord. Lord, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus.
Shout out my dog, Terry. Sharon said, it's madness, I say. It's madness. Imperial said, I'm evil 2 trillion%. I don't even know what that number is. R2 said, bro got his worldview from Reddit. Mokenberg said some are just more evil than others, and also some just aren't evil, okay? There are good people in this world. I know that because I'm one of them. That's why. Darkling said, so if you want to say that it's only the Europeans, what about the Christians being persecuted in Nigeria? Okay, are you talking about the black Christians in Nigeria being persecuted by other Nigerians? Is that what you're talking about? If that's what you're talking about, then I never said that people did not engage in conflict with one another. That happens all the time. Like you can't call it. You know what I mean? People fight over women. People fight over money. Individual people get in conflict with each other over things all the time. Large groups of people are not leaving Nigeria to go colonize Europe. All right, that's my point. Now you might say that there's a huge immigration problem. That's not my business. I'm not in Europe. I don't know what's going on with that. But they're not mobilizing their military in Nigeria to go declare war on Europe so that way we can take their resources. This is what the Europeans are doing. And they're not just doing that, they're announcing it and using government military power. They're using government military power to go around the world and declare war on entire communities. The Nigerians are not doing that. Now, like I said, if you're talking about conflict within, yeah, that happens all the time. You know what I mean? Black Americans, we would never at some point be like, all right, now how are we going to take over Mexico? You understand? It don't matter how many evil black people are over here. It's never going to come to a point where a large group of us is trying to take over Mexico. Never. All right, we're going to try to help Mexico or try to do some trade, try to be friends with people in Mexico. We would never want to take them over because we're not evil, the large group of us. Are there 1 or 2 individual evil people? Of course. The large group of us is not doing that. There is enormous groups of you guys around the planet right now doing it. Till this day. Terry said, we ain't even trying to be bothered. Like I'm saying, like, bro, we be minding our own bit. We ain't trying to go over to nobody's shit. You guys are in everybody's shit right now. Everybody's country, you're there. RT said 13% of the population commits 50% of the crime. Now, I don't usually address these comments, but I will address it today since we're talking about it, right? Okay, so this is how stupid these people are that use this statistic, right? I'm going to prove to you right now that everybody that uses this statistic is the dumbest person on the planet, all right? I guarantee you. Everybody that uses this statistic is the dumbest person on the entire... No, Ezra, I got you. Don't even worry about it, Ezra. I got you. Watch this. I'm going to prove to you this is a literal fact. All right? So if you say that 13% of the population commits 50% of the crime, you're the dumbest person ever, because when you bring that stat up, what you are admitting is that the Europeans are unfairly oppressing Black Native Americans. Do you understand? That statistic proves that the black Americans are being unfairly policed. Do you understand? Because when you say 13% of people commit 50% of the crime, that's not even the real statistic. That's not the real statistic. See, Don Luca, listen, every black person who's listening right now, all right? This is what you say to these people from now on. This is what you say, all right? If you go look up that FBI crime statistic that they are reporting, right? That FBI crime statistic is not about who commits crimes. Do you understand? That is not about who commits crimes, because it's impossible to know who commits all the crime, because most crime goes unreported and unsolved. So it's impossible for them to know who commits all the crime. Do you know what that stat actually is? Go fact check me on this. Go fact check me on this. You know what that stat actually is? 13% of the population accounts for 50% of the arrests, not convictions. No, not convictions. 50% of the arrests go to 13% of the population. But then you also have to add into the fact that we comprise 70 to 80% of the exonerations. Do you see how stupid they are? Think about how stupid they are, right? It's not 13% of the people commit 50% of the crime. 13% of the people get arrested half the time, but 80% of the time they get released. So all that statistic proves is that the Europeans are over here using the prison system to enslave black natives. Stupid. This is why I ignore them for the most part, because it's just dumb. It's just dumb, bro. It's exactly a bunch of chuds. That's literally what y'all are. A bunch of idiot chuds, right? You can disagree all you want. These are the FBI statistics that you brought up. He's the one that brought it up, bitch. Don't get mad at me. You brought it up, all right? You brought it up. So let's talk about it then. Why are 13% of the people getting arrested half the time? And then they're getting exonerated 70 to 80% of the time. Why is that happening? I wonder why. Yeah, I wonder why. You see how dumb you sound? The reason why that's happening is because the Europeans are over here trying to steal the land from the Native Americans. And the way they do that is by creating fake laws so they can lock them up into slavery, because slavery was actually never made illegal in America. Oh, did you know that? Did you know that slavery was never made illegal in America? It's only illegal unless you get locked up. That's why 13% of the people get locked up half the time. Because the point of locking people up is to put that 13% of people back in slavery. Listen, we're going to move on from this conversation. Like I said, I usually don't bring this up because it really is petty shit. But listen, you guys don't know what you're talking about. And every time you talk, you expose yourself as a stupid idiot. As a stupid idiot that hates black people. And I'm telling you why they hate black people, guys. It's not about your skin color, okay? It's because you occupy the space that they want to be in. As a black American, you are a Native American. What do the white people want to be considered over here? The white Europeans. They are like, no, we're American. So you know why they hate the real Americans? Because they're pretending to be Americans. That's all that's going on, guys, all right? It's not that big a deal. Even when you see them lie about the stats, you know why they lie about the stats? Because they are, white dudes that probably don't get a lot of women, and so they need the white women to think black people are evil, right? Instead of becoming a better, more attractive person, what they will do is try to make the white women think black people are evil. That is literally it. That's all that's going on, you know what I mean? And then, like I said, the reason why, black people are locked up more often than Europeans is because the Europeans are at war with the black people. It's literally that simple. The Europeans are at war with the black people in America, psychologically. So they're just trying to find different ways to lock us up so that way you guys can steal our land, steal our identity. And you're mad at me because I realize it. RS2 said, is this cope for your inability to build a proper civilization? RS2, if we have the inability to build a proper civilization, why are you guys leaving Europe at all? Yeah, there would be no need for you guys to leave Europe and go to all of these indigenous places if they can't build proper civilizations. How come you didn't build a proper civilization in Europe? Huh? What's going on over there? Why are you guys leaving Europe, huh? Exactly. You're leaving Europe because you destroyed the civilization that the black people built there. Yeah, we know for a fact that Europe was built up by black Moors. So see, imagine this person saying that these people are coping because they can't build a proper civilization. You can't build a proper civilization. Did you shower today? Oh my God, you can't build a proper civilization. Oh my God, you smell like shit. Ezra said they make the laws and refuse to enforce them against themselves. If you're not demanding the blank class be held accountable, it's because you are in the blank class. I agree with that, Ezra, 100%. Yeah, and that, honestly, Ezra, that is a good way to say it, right? Without using the word, of course. But yeah, the people that come in here and disagree with me and are trying to demonize me for talking about the truth, all of these people are related to people who are on the E list. Yeah, they are all related to people on that list for 100%. And so that's a better way, an easier way to understand what I'm getting at. Yeah, they're all related to people that were on that island. There's no way around it. If you weren't, then you would be on our side demanding the truth. That's the only way around it. Guys, if you want to call in, you can call in from the Discord, okay? I'm going to open up the phone lines in a few seconds. The Discord is on my page. You join the live show tab when you get in there, all right? Don Luca, what's up, Don Luca? Mystic. Yabonda Bell, what's up, Yabonda Bell? Free My Grandma said, learning on your own means choice, curiosity, and personal freedom, while government education involves standardization, compulsion, and institutional compliance. Very well said, Free My Grandma, very well said. Yeah, hey, whatever E list you guys want to name, yep, they're on it. Look at Hans Elchin. Look, Hans Elchin is so upset about me pointing out the true history of Europe. He's like, that classical music is covering up the beeps from the smoke detector. Like think about it. This is how, doesn't it all make sense now? Doesn't it make sense that somebody who comes from this is not able to come up with a better joke besides smoke detector? You see, like they don't have anything. They're not creative, not nothing. I can come in here and I can make fun of you guys for 10 days in a row and never repeat a joke. But you guys repeat the exact same thing that everybody else says forever because you're stupid. All right? Again, I'm not saying that these people were, simple and they didn't, they didn't have the ability to reason. I'm saying that they do reason. They're just stupid. All right, they're stupid people, and that's why they still act the way that they act. Now, the ones that don't act like that, I'm not talking to you. But the ones that do act like that, I'm 100% talking to you, and you should take this extremely personal. More, are you up here to troll?
No.
Huh?
I have some questions. I have some questions.
Where are you from, bud?
Africa.
What part of Africa?
East.
So you're Somali,
No. Somalia.
Ethiopian, it don't matter. Around there though, right? Ethiopian,
No.
Eritrean? No?
No, Kenya.
Oh, from Kenya. Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
What's on your mind, brother?
What's your huh?
What's on your mind?
I'm wondering, you said that Europeans erased history. I'm wondering, like, how? I don't know.
What did you say? What was your question?
How did Europeans erase history?
You're not aware of how the Europeans erase history?
Changed it somehow, but they didn't erase it.
You're saying they changed it, but that's not the same thing as erasing it. More, are you there? Are you saying that if I change history, that's not the same thing as erasing it?
No, I'm saying, of course, all cultures, all dominant cultures change history.
That's erasing
But it's
history,
just
bro.
okay.
More. If I change history, that's the same thing as erasing it. I'm erasing the real history and I'm creating a false history. That's erasing
Okay,
history,
by
sir.
changing, I'm saying they make it fit their narrative. That's every dominant culture has done that.
I disagree with that. Yeah, I disagree with that.
How?
Because there's no evidence of this. There's only evidence of Europeans doing it.
I mean, I can give you an example.
Give me an example of non-Europeans going to an area that is not theirs and changing the culture and history. Give me an example of that happening.
Example, if I go South Africa, Zulu Kingdom, they made other people Zulu by expanding the kingdom.
Bro,
The same thing.
but this is within
China.
Africa, though. This is within Africa, right?
Yeah.
All right, so
I'm trying to.
okay, all right, bro. Listen. Within Africa is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about do the Africans leave Africa, go to Europe, take over places in Europe, and then change the history of Europe? Is that what they do?
Nah.
All right, so that's what I'm saying. That they go around the world changing other people's history. All right, the history of Africa is the history of Africa. There are conflicts that go there. That's between you guys. That's in-house business. You see, that's in-house business. All right? So the history of America, yeah, there are conflicts between Native American tribes, but that's not the same thing as us going to like Mexico and taking over Mexico and then changing the history of Mexico. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Erasing people's history. The Japanese did do it. Listen. The Japanese did do it. I'm responding to a comment in the chat. The Japanese did do it all throughout Asia, but again, this is in-house business. Yes, they went around Asia, and there was a huge conflict. That's what ultimately led to the southern eastern part of the 1930 conflict. But that's my point: is that there's not a record of the Japanese going to Europe or Africa. You know what I mean? Even right now, the Chinese go to Africa, and yeah, there's a lot of complaints about it, but they're not like getting rid of African people in their history. You know what I mean? This is a strictly European thing in modern times. It's a strictly European thing.
But you have groups, for example, the Arabs.
The Arabs are European. I was talking about that earlier.
No, they're not. They're
Yes,
there.
they're mixed with European and indigenous Africans or indigenous Europeans. That's literally what they are. That's
How? Because we know that they're from the Arabian Gulf.
And how did they get to the Arabian Gulf?
Thousands of years.
Right, exactly. See, and you're just assuming that because they said it. You're assuming that because they said it, right? Well, listen, let me help you out, bro.
Cool.
They are liars,
Okay.
right? They're liars. So, yeah.
How?
How are they liars?
And how are you Arabs, European? What evidence do you have?
You got to look up the history of a certain group called the K's. I'm not going to say their name out loud. You're going to have to do your own research. Now people call them the J's, but now people call them the J's, but they're really not the J's. They are the K's, and they come out of what some people believe is the Caucasus Mountains, but there's a lot of discrepancy around the history of that area too. So this group began to go to these other indigenous populations and mix in with these groups to slowly but surely take over these areas by elevating their offspring to higher positions. This is how you get light-skinned Asians. This is how you get light-skinned Africans or Arabians. This is how you get light-skinned Europeans.
Africans.
That's what this is, all right? These K's,
Light-skinned Africans.
I'm talking about the Northern Africans, okay?
But North Africans are indigenous.
What are you talking about? You talking about the Arabians in Egypt? You think the Arabians are indigenous to Egypt?
Who?
Huh?
Egyptians are Egyptians.
You think the original
If you look at
Egyptians
a
are
photo of
light-skinned?
Egyptians
Let me,
today- Yeah,
you
I'm
think
saying, if you look at a photo of Egyptians today, thousands of years back, they look exactly the same in their own.
and how do you know? How do you know they look the same?
Same.
How do you know they look the same thousands of years back? How do you know that?
Because we have portraits.
Because the
of-
Europeans drew a picture.
thousands of
Right, yeah,
years ago.
listen, I get it.
No.
Listen.
Portrait.
Kenya. Calm down, all right? Calm down. So listen, I understand that you're in love with Europeans and whatever they tell you, you're going to believe.
No.
I'm not like you. Listen. I'm in America, okay? In America, we don't love Europeans the way you guys do. And we know that they lie all the time. Sure, sir, I'm still talking. And we know that they lie all the time, all right? And so I get it that this is tough for you. But just because a European drew a picture and said that they were the original Egyptians, that doesn't make that the truth. All right. The reason why they tell you that is because they stole that land from the people who were originally there. All right. So of course, if you steal somebody's land, you're gonna lie and say this was always mine. That's what thieves do. And like I said, you're African and you guys love Europeans, and so you believe that bullshit, but we don't believe any of that. We don't believe any of that. Listen, we don't believe any of that. We are up on these lying ass Europeans, and we call it out daily up here. So I respect that you believe that, but it's a falsity. All right?
I'm just giving you evidence. Though.
You're not giving me any evidence. You're saying that they have portraits. You saying that they have portraits is not giving me evidence.
And I've pointed out that the DNA of modern Egyptians is almost identical to the DNA of thousands of years ago bones of ancient Egyptians.
Right. Well, let me help you out, my brother. All right. You can pretend like whatever portrait you looked at that a European drew is going to subvert all of the mountains of documented evidence that we have that Europe and the rest of the world was dark skinned for all of human history up until recent times. But I've shown primary documents on here from like 1750 where people were describing what the people of Europe and Africa looked like, and they were all still black by 1750. So you, again, in Africa, I get it. You guys have European education and you really love them. So you believe everything you were taught. Out here in America, we do our own research. And so we know for a fact that in 1750, Africa, Asia, Europe, and America was still mainly black people. So yeah, since then they've changed all the history. But that doesn't change the fact that the North remembers. Anything else, bro?
Yes, I'm just pointing out that you're denying all history.
I am denying European history because they're liars and colonizers. You're correct. I'm denying the history that comes from liars.
Yeah, I don't care about like European
Well, I know
history.
you don't care, but
Because
I know. Listen,
bro,
listen. I know you don't care. That's
I'm
why
saying,
you're
for
uninformed. Listen,
example,
I know you guys
for
don't care about
example,
sources. That's why you are uninformed because you don't care who it comes from. As long as it comes from a European, as long as it comes from a European, you believe it. That's a fact.
I can say the same thing about you guys.
But you'd be wrong though. You'd be wrong.
Right.
But you'd be wrong. You could say it, but you would be wrong.
I would not.
You
But
would be
for
wrong.
example,
Yeah, you
I'm
are
not
wrong.
talking, I don't
You
care
are
about
wrong.
European stuff.
I know you
I'm
do.
saying,
You
for
do care
example,
about
you know
Europeans. You're in love with
Chinese.
them. You're in love with Europeans,
No,
bro.
I don't care
You
about
love
Europeans.
Europe. You're in love with
I'm
Europe.
saying,
Yeah, you are.
no,
You are.
look.
Do
I
you
don't
live in
care about
Kenya? You live in Kenya?
Nah,
Where do you live at?
South Sudan.
Oh, you live in the South Sudan. Oh shit.
Okay, let me go back to my statement.
But why'd you move to South
I'm talking
Sudan?
about
Just out of curiosity, why'd you move to South Sudan after? You know what? Here you go. All right, all right, all right. Let me not go there. All right, let's do this. Okay, so you're from Kenya. Do you know your grandparents? You do, right? More. Do you know your grandparents? I can't hear
yes,
you. You do. Okay, all right. Okay, so do your grandparents call themselves African?
percent.
They use the word African, your grandparents.
No, they don't.
Oh, they don't.
No,
So
not the word.
why would you say 100% then? You know why you said
I
100%?
mean,
Listen. Let me help you out.
you know,
Listen, I just set you up. All right, let me help you out. All right. The reason why you said 100% and you're so proud of the African thing because you're in love with Europeans. African is the name. Sure, sir. African is the name of Europeans. That's a European name. Europeans moved to your continent and they named the continent after themselves. And now you call yourself that. You know why? Because you're in love with them. Listen, you are in love with them. All right, you're in love
I
with
don't
them.
call myself African.
I asked you if your grandparents call them African. You're like, yeah, 100%. You just said that.
Yeah.
All right, you know why? You know why you're so proud of that? And you lied on them though. You lied, bro. You're a liar. You're a liar. You lied. You not wait. You lied on your grandparents. You literally lied on your grandparents. Because I asked you, I'm like, they use the word African, and you said no. No, you use the word African, and you said that they use it, even though they don't, because you are in love with the word African, because it comes from Europeans. That's it. Nobody can hear you more. Nobody can hear you. You're muted, idiot. All right? You're in love with Europeans. That's why you love that name. That's why everything that you learn from them, you can't imagine that a black person is disagreeing with you because what you learned is from a white person. You're like, oh, no way this black person knows more than the white people. That's literally how you think, bro. Literally. That's 100% how you think. I'm black and I'm not white. I'm not white, and so I can't be correct. But they have to be correct because they're white.
No.
And I want to let you know, bro, that's why we don't respect you guys like that, all right? This is literally why we don't respect you like that. Go ahead, though.
Hey, can I respond?
Yeah, go ahead, bro, of course.
When you asked me, do my parents identify as African? I said yes, but that's
That's a
not
lie.
the same identity.
I didn't say
If you want to-
identify.
Let me explain.
No, you're lying.
Okay, no
You're
problem.
lying.
Okay, no problem.
I didn't say identify. I said, do
No,
your
let me
parents?
explain.
No. I said, do your parents call themselves African? You said yes, 100%. And they don't. Your parents, your grandparents, excuse me, your grandparents do not call themselves African. How did I know that? That's crazy that I caught you up on that lie. You a liar.
No.
You're a liar.
They call themselves African, but it's not.
They don't
what
call
they
themselves
primarily
African.
call
They don't
themselves.
use the word African. That's a lie.
Yeah. Can I establish my point first? I'm establishing that they first go by their tribal names, right?
They don't call themselves African. Listen, they don't call themselves African. You use that word, bro. Who came up with the term African?
Some Roman person. I
Oh,
think.
yes, a European came up with the term African. And now you, so if a European came up with the term African, why would you call yourself that if a European came up with the name?
So I call myself by tribe.
Why would you
nationality.
call yourself African if the Europeans called you that name? Why would you call yourself that?
It's referring to the continent.
No, it's not.
Okay, what did you refer to?
A group of Europeans. You see how you named your continent? Like, this is basically what we have. No. Listen. This is basically what we have going on right now, right? So imagine you and your family have a house, right? Somebody moved in your house and kicked you guys out of every part of the house except the back room, right? So now you and your entire family live in the back room of your own house, okay? And the person that moved in, they told you from now on, this is my house, all right? And I'm gonna name the house after me. Let's say the name of that person was Africa, right? And now you, instead of fighting for the name that your parents gave your family, you are fighting, literally fighting for the name of the person that broke in your house and banished you to the back room. That's literally what's going on. You're like, well, the name of my continent is Africa. You know why it's named that? Because somebody broke in and renamed it right under your feet, and you accepted it. You accepted it like a weak person, like a weak man. You accepted what they did to you, and now you're trying to get on me about, why I'm not accepting the version of history that come from the very people that stole your land and renamed you. They literally renamed you. Have you ever seen a movie? Have you ever seen a movie where somebody's like, hey, what's up, Mike? And the dude's like, my name is Matt. He's like, nah, your name is Mike. Yeah, no, your name is Mike from now on. We're gonna call you Mike. Imagine if that dude was like, all right, fine, my name is Mike. That's y'all. That is you in Africa right now. My name is Mike. All right, fine, my name is Mike.
Can I ask you a question?
What, Mike? Yeah, go ahead, Mike. What's your question, Mike?
My name's not Mike.
Your name is Mike. Your name is Mike. Listen, hold on. Why? You see? He's like, my name is not Mike. If your name is not Mike, then why are you okay with the African name? See, you got a problem with me renaming you, but no, see, nah. You see, you got a problem with me renaming you, but you don't care if a European does it. You know why? Because you're in love with white people.
Okay, let me
Yeah, no, white people can rename you, and you're like, that's totally fine. I will accept that. But if I call you Mike, you're like, that ain't my name. That's what I thought. All right, don't puff your chest up at me. Hey, don't puff your chest up at me. If you're not gonna puff your chest up at the Europeans that are stealing your land and stealing your resources, shut your dumb ass up talking to me. I yield the floor. Go ahead.
My question is, like, for example, in my language, African or black, right?
Hold on one second. Freddie said you are still speaking the English language, though. Freddie, the English language that we speak today is actually American English. We don't use any of those old weirdo Google Gaga words that you guys have in Old English. Do you understand? That's not the real English. The English that you guys use today is our language. Webster discovered going around to the Native American tribes in America. That is the English that people speak around the world. Not the King's English. That's bullshit. Nobody speaks that dumb language. Nobody speaks that dumb language. You guys speak our language. Everybody around the world, even in Africa. You guys walk around talking about homie, bro, what's up, gang? You go to Europe right now, you hear people talking about what's up, gang? What's up, gang? Nobody speaks your stupid language. Y'all speak our language. And that's why you call our language English, because you don't want people to find out that you're actually speaking our language. You dumb bitch. Speaking English. You got your stupid mind. You guys are speaking American. Everybody around the world is speaking American. Speaking American, dressing American, cutting your hair in an American style. You go to Europe, they got tapers and shit over there. They got tapers and shit, wearing Nike and Jordans. Not because of Phil Knight. You think they wear Nike and Jordan because of Phil Knight? No. They wear Nike and Jordan because of black people. Period. And y'all doing the same thing in Africa. I just seen a video the other day of some dudes walking around in Africa with red flags on talking about blood. Bloods in Africa. Right, no, but you guys, yeah, but it all comes from England though, right? Shut your stupid ass up. England don't do nothing but go around the world stealing everybody's shit and claiming it's theirs. Same thing with the American language and culture. Same exact thing. This is a fact, by the way. Yeah, and no, it's not hood English. It's American English, all right? We say pants over here. We don't say trousers. All right? Nobody around the world says trousers. Oh, I need to put on my trousers. No, you don't say trousers, you say pants. Because that's how we talk out here. All right? If we said trousers, then everybody would say trousers. All right? But they don't say trousers. You know why? Because we don't say it. If I start saying it, then everybody else is going to start saying it. Just like that. Trousers. Trousers. Me knickers. Well, hey, what's up with me knickers? Nobody says the word knickers. Nick. Okay, YouTube, Nick. Out your damn mind. I am said because of Black Americans scroll on social media for an hour. Every single song, mannerism, and look will be Black American influence. Period. Listen. There is this. You know what? Oh, this is so funny. Okay, so there's this this TikToker. I don't even know her name, but she is a like super white girl, like super. I mean, blonde hair, blue eyes, everything. You know what I mean? And shout out one of the people that follow me on TT. I would consider her to be this as well. And when she comes up, her voice is like, you know, kind of soft and scratchy, like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but like a white lady voice, okay? I don't know how else to describe it, but she has a white lady's voice, okay? So there's this famous blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl who does TT, okay? All of her videos is talking like Black women. Yeah, I'm just, and so I was like, and then I was like, oh, hell no, oh, hell no. That's her whole channel, right? I was watching one of her videos, and in the middle of the video, she stopped for a second to like read something. When she started reading it, her real voice came out. Oh, she went back to the video, and I was like, oh, hell no. I'm like, boy. Yeah, listen, this is what y'all do to get clout. Let me act like a black person because then they'll think I'm cool. Bro, I was like, what the hell? And the thing that got me is, at first, I thought that was her real voice. I thought she was just a white lady that had an aggressive voice. And then when I heard her switch, I was like, oh, hell no. That's that bullshit. What's up, Haley? How you doing? Mystic said, no one on the corner has swagger like us. What's up, Roscoe? Roscoe Pico. Indian Summer said Justin Bieber and Miley Cyrus. By the way, I love Justin Bieber and Miley Cyrus's music. I just want to put that out there, all right? I'm a real music head, and so, you know, call me corny. I don't care. I actually like Justin Bieber. And Miley. Yusuf said, oh, that's why they steal our names. They want to be us. Fodia said, ever since Run DMC, y'all want to be us. Okay, now I do have to bring some clarity to this though, okay? As a huge Run DMC fan, I'm going to give some pushback, or I'm going to play devil's advocate just a little bit, okay? I'm a huge Run DMC fan. It's not even like, I promise, okay? I used to walk around with Run DMC t-shirts like in, you know, growing up, you know what I mean? Like I was the old soul as a kid. When everybody was listening to heavy rap music, I was listening to old rap music like LL Cool J and Run DMC and shit. Anyways, Run DMC, and not even just them, but all of the old early rap pioneers did adopt their style from the popular rock and roll artists at the time. Don't get too excited, white people, okay? Yeah. Just, I promise you this story is not going the way you think it is, all right? Listen, it is a fact that Run DMC and a lot of the old early rap adapters, they were copying the cadences and the style of rock and roll music and fusing that with, of course, what was going on with rap and funk music. What was going on with funk music and jazz and like the breakdowns and stuff. And that's how you actually get modern hip hop, right? Modern hip hop is actually the combination of the beats, you understand? The beats that the DJs were making and the rapping style that actually does somewhat come from what the rock and roll artists were doing at the time. Exactly, Rome. You already know where I'm going. That's what I say. I'm like, listen, don't get too excited, rock and roll heads, okay? Because the story don't end there. All right. While I will say that, the early rapper, this is Grandmaster Caz. Grandmaster Caz admits this, that he was listening to Barry Manilow, making his beats, and then he would write his lyrics from the cadence of Barry Manilow. All right? He would come up with his own words. I'm just saying that is kind of how they, developed the cadence of rap in the early days. Now, the new cadence of rap is different than that. All right? I'm just saying the early days, when they were like, when Run DMC was like, that Run DMC was like the beginning of the newer rap style. Anyways, but of course, yes, rock and roll is also just an offshoot of jazz, you know what I mean? And funk music, really. But yeah, like jazz and stuff like that. So, we know that rock and roll comes from Little Richard. You know what I mean? That's my point. It's like, it comes from Little Richard and shit, but, yeah, and country music, yes. Rock and roll also comes out of country and blues, all right? If you listen to the early rock and roll songs before heavy metal, the early rock and roll songs were almost all blues and country. It was blues, country, and a little bit of funk mixed in between. I don't know if you guys listen to who sings Rocket Man? Oh my God, there's so many names in my head right now. Elton John. All right, yeah, Elton John. If you listen to a lot of Elton John, you'll see what I'm talking about. Elton John, it wasn't a lot of guitar in Elton John's music. Thank you. Yeah, it was really more like bluesy. Elton John's music was more like bluesy, and every now and then it would get like funky and like country a little bit too. So that was the early rock and roll. I'm like, this like heavy metal obviously is a thing now. Shout out Jimi Hendrix. Shout out Jimi Hendrix, right? Heavy metal is a thing now. Yeah, the Beatles as well, right? If you listen to the Beatles is more like blues and shit. You know what I mean? It's not heavy metal rock and roll. They're just copying what the black artists were doing at the time. They're just copying the jazz musicians and the blues musicians. Nathan said it goes back to Robert Johnson. How did we start talking about this? Oh, we were talking about rap, okay, and how everybody copies what hip hop does. And I was saying that the early hip hop adopters were copying rock and roll, but again, the rock and roll was copying all the other black people before that. So I did want to bring some clarity to that statement. XX said, I thought the sad blues due to their trauma. I love Phil Lynott and Gary Moore out in the field. Shout out XXX. Haley said Hendrix was a shit. Absolutely. One of the greatest, not just rock and roll songs ever, but one of the greatest songs ever that I think every man should listen to because it's literally a cautionary tale. There's a song by Jimi Hendrix called Hey Joe. One of my favorite songs ever. Oh, Jimi Hendrix is such a legend for that, bro. Jimi Hendrix was one of the first people making metaphorical music. Yeah, if you are a man, go listen to the song "Hey Joe," and take the lesson that is in there. Okay, there's a lesson in there. Okay, you don't think he wrote "Hey Joe"? Oh, well, if he didn't write it, then put me on. Who wrote it? Yeah, whoever wrote that song is a musical genius. Cause I still listen to it today, and it's like I'm like, man, it was like. It had to be almost like from a personal experience. It was too real. Aziz said the Rolling Stones used to cover songs by the Wailers before becoming large. They even admitted to being heavily influenced by the Wailers. Don't Sweat said, can you explain George Washington and his background, how he's a black European? Yes, you have to look up the history, not just of the Washington name in Europe etymologically, right? And epistemologically, but you can look up his direct family members, like you could do the genealogy on George Washington and find out who his parents were, grandparents. You can trace them all the way back to Europe and see that they were a part of a group of Huguenot Moorish Europeans. All right. They were Huguenot Moors, just like Christopher Columbus. Claudia says, shout out to Eric Clapton. Yeah, absolutely. I love Eric Clapton. I would be the sunlight in your universe. Ain't that Eric? You would think my love was really something good. Baby, if I could. Did anybody tell me who wrote the song Hey Joe? Who wrote Hey Joe? I mean, you corrected me on it. Now I want to know. Am I going to have to look it up myself? You were right. It says, hold up. It says, Hey Joe was written on, it was written by Billy Roberts, but it was based on the original 1966 version by Tim Rose. I've never heard that version. I gotta look that up now. Shout out Tim Rose. I mean, I'm sure Tim Rose didn't do it like Jimmy, of course, but still, you know, got to give credit where it's due. Thank you for correcting me on that. Oh, okay. It makes sense that was his first single too. Okay. Yeah, so they were just trying to give him a hit. Yeah, well, listen, that song, Hey Joe, is a geniusly written song. I mean, geniusly written. Yeah, hey, I'll tell you guys right now, for those of you who haven't listened to it, when you go listen to it, the message in the song, the message in the song is, as a dude, stop falling in love with women. Oh my God. No, this is a fact. Listen, the message is, as a man, stop falling in love with women, because then you're going to try to control them and your life is going to be ruined. Yeah, your life will be ruined if you keep thinking you can control women. Oh, it's so genius. It literally is just like right to the point. Like, yeah. Keep doing this if you want to, and this is what's gonna happen to you. Yeah, you better let them women roam. Shout out Terry.
Bang up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord.
You know, listen, this is the message of the song right here.
Bang up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord. Lord, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus.
Haley said free range. Yeah, you better let them chickens stay free range, all right? All right, you listen. Hey, them chickens is only good if they free range. Oh my God. Devon said you can't control anything but you. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Maybe I didn't say it right at first, but that's the point of the song. It's like, stop trying to control other people, especially women. Oh my God. Listen, man. All right, them is free range chickens right there, all right? Oh my God. How did we devolve into this? Guys, do me a favor, like the video, please. Double tap the screen and sub, only if you like the content. Oh yeah, we were talking about how everybody copies black people. That's right. What's up, Star B? How you doing, man?
Hi.
Mighty Mule, are you up here to troll?
No, I've actually been up here before.
I'm still gonna ask you the same question every time you come, bro.
Yeah, I'm not here to troll. I have a question. What are your thoughts on extraterrestrial life?
Do I think that there is life in other territories?
Extraterrestrial, like outer space.
What do you mean outer space? You mean like
Like,
outer space,
do
like
believe-
you mean like up in the
do you
sky?
believe
You mean
aliens
up in the sky? Is that what you mean?
No, I mean like, do you believe aliens exist? As alien, as in.
All right.
from another planet?
I heard your stupid question. All right, Jesus Christ. Listen, when you use the word extraterrestrial, I'm taking it by the exact definition, which means people coming from other territories. All right, extraterrestrial, extra territory. So there are people, I'm sure, that come from the other territories that exist outside of our known lands. Like I always talk about, we know there is more land on the earth than they show us. So there are people that come from these other territories, I'm sure. And these are your extraterrestrials, right? And I guess you could consider this outer space, because if this is our known area, when you go out of here, you're going to the outer space. So if you go outer space, you will come to extra territory, and I'm sure there are extraterrestrials there. Claudia said, how about extra dimensions? See, Claudia, I do believe that, but the thing is, if there are beings that are in higher dimensions than us, then they would operate on a level that we can't, that we're not aware of physically, right? We might be aware of these things energetically or spiritually, but in our physical plane, if something is a higher dimension, then it's not operating on our physical plane. So it would be difficult for us to be able to interact with these other things. Maybe we can interact with them spiritually, but Star B, we've moved on from that conversation, all right? Haley said, and why would they want to mess with us anyways? Haley, in my opinion, they probably do not want to mess with us. I'm sure that they are open to, communicating with us, but the thing about it is, Haley, that we are extremely hostile. Well, actually, it's not us, Haley, it's the Europeans. No offense, okay? It's not all the Europeans, but yeah, there's a group of Europeans that are very hostile. And when Admiral Byrd went past the South Pole to allegedly communicate with these other groups, when Admiral Byrd went past the South Pole to allegedly communicate with these other groups, they took a military expedition down there, and I'm sure they engaged in conflict. So, I think that they probably don't have, an overt interest in interacting with us because we're so damn violent. Well, our representatives, being the Europeans, are so violent. Europeans are not colorless. Yeah, Europeans are not colorless. I don't know why you would say something like that. Mystic said they like us. I'm under the impression that they are protecting us. Claudia said white Europeans because now Europe is mixed. Yes, that's correct. Europe is mixed now, when it used to actually just be all black Europeans. Oh. Give me a second to stretch my legs, all right? I'm going to stretch my legs and use the restroom. I'll be right back and we'll pick it up. If you guys want to call in, the Discord is open. You join the Discord from my page, and then you hop in the live show tab, okay? Hop in the live show tab when you get in the Discord, and I will bring you up, and you can give me any pushback that you have. All right? If you guys have questions or comments, feel free to put them in the chat. We might go take a break here in a little bit. We'll see what happens, though. And if you want a shout out, you can put your name in the chat. If you are watching and I've never given you a shout out before, put your name in the chat and I'll shout you out. Blue said, "Why are Europeans without melanin?" I don't believe Europeans are without melanin. Yeah, I know. I need to get the blood flowing back in my legs right now. Oh. Oh! Alright, let's see what we got in here. Oh. Ezra said the people in Europe are not without color because pink is a color. Jazzy said the Europeans are a human hybrid. I think Jazzy is saying a human hybrid between these two things. Oh. Shanti said place of origin wasn't the Americas, but who cares where they're from? As long as we keep kindness in our hearts. I agree with that. Jeremiah said, bro, stay hydrated. You like an epic Tomoguchi with good hair. Oh, here we go. Devon said, melanin is a conduit that quickens information to the brain. The lack of melanin is what causes disorders due to the lack of the ability to process information in its full spectrum. I have heard that before. I don't know if that's true or not, but you know, some of you might remember when I was going back and forth with somebody and they were making a claim that melanin is only to protect you from the sun. And I was like, I don't agree with that. I'm not saying that we know for sure what it is, but for you to say that the only purpose of melanin is to protect you from the sun, that seems a little ridiculous because you're not supposed to be protected from the sun. You're supposed to absorb the sun. So melanin doesn't help you, doesn't protect you from the sun. It helps you absorb the sun and transfer the sun's energy into, like he's saying, information that your body can use to build up. That's why you turn the sun's rays into vitamin D. So you can turn the sun into vitamin D, but melanin is protecting you from it. Again, that's why I disagreed with that, you know, so long ago. I'm not saying that it's what he's saying. I'm just saying that clearly there's more to what melanin does than what we think. Mr. True History said, double tap the screen to like the video and sub only if you like the content. Jeremiah said, where's the hydration button? What, do I look dehydrated? Yo, who's Abuelo choked out Clav? Did Clav get choked out? Or are you making fun of my hair? I mean, or are you making fun of my voice? Roscoe said, it's our tightly rolled hair. Roscoe, I am leaning toward what you're saying right now, right? That, and it's not because of the hair. The tightly rolled hair, I think might be a sign of higher electrical activity. Because you know when you are making, what is it? it's not a cathode. I don't know. There's a certain like coil. Is it called a Tesla coil? Listen, there's a certain type of coil that they use to conduct electricity, right? The coil conducts electricity better when it's wrapped more tightly and close together. You understand? The wider the coils, the weaker the electrical charge. The tighter the coils, the stronger the electrical charge. So I think that hair is more like a representation of what's going on. It's not that your energy is higher because of the tightly wrapped coiled hair. I think that your hair naturally wraps tighter in more coils because of the amount of energy surging. And like I said, I think that because of, how we conduct electricity using coils. The tighter the coils, the stronger the electrical charge. Yeah, it might be more static, more, I don't know, more something as it relates to the ability to transfer electricity quicker. Haley, what in the world? I have no idea what you mean by that, Haley. Wow. Guys, do me a favor, double tap the screen to like the video and sub only if you like the content, please. I don't know how much longer we're finna be on here, but as long as the conversation stays good, I will push back my hunger and sacrifice so we can get this content out and have a good time. I have not eaten today yet though, so. I know you use some good product, fam. Jeremiah, no. All right. Hey, I buy my conditioner from CVS, and I buy the cheap version. Yeah, I buy the cheapest conditioner that I could possibly find. Yeah, whatever the cheapest conditioner is, that's what I buy. And sometimes I use shampoo, sometimes I just use regular soap. Yeah, I just be using regular soap on my hair. If shampoo is available, then I'll use it, but I don't always go buy shampoo. Yeah, no. I just wash my hair, I use conditioner to untangle it, and then I let the water guide me, okay? Whatever the water decides, that's what we go with. Yeah, the most I will ever do to restyle my hair is jump back in the shower. I swear to God, if I have ever been ready to go somewhere and I didn't like the way my hair was looking, I would put a towel around me and run my hair under the water. I run my hair under the water and just shake it out and be like, all right, we're going with that. Indigo Girl said, if I don't pre-poo my hair, it's impossible to detangle. What do you mean pre-poo? You mean like... XXX, my son does that, LOL, dripping. I mean, you guys see me when I come on the live, right? When I start the lives, don't my hair be like... You'll be like, oh my God, why does this guy look soaking wet? I just got out the shower. Oh. Right, I gotta, this is not helping now. Oh. Indigo Girl said, it's a treat before shampoo. Oh, pre-poo. I get it. Okay. Like pre-shampoo. El Jefe says shampoo only once a week, not every day. El Jefe, I have heard that. while I will say, I don't really use shampoo that much. I do try to only like deep wash my hair. Listen, I'm down to every other day, okay? Every other day. All right. Yeah, I don't think El Jefe is saying don't wash your hair. He's saying it's not good to put soap in your hair every day, which it's not. Yeah, he is correct about that. You should still wash it though. So like what I do is, I wash my hair, right? I detangle it, and then the next day I'm gonna rinse my hair, detangle it again, but I'm not gonna put soap in it. You know what I mean? I'm still gonna rinse it off and I'm still gonna wash it, but I'm just washing it with water and conditioner. You know what I mean? And then the next day I gotta wash it again. Yeah, it's too hot. It's too hot out here to go an entire week without putting soap in your hair. It's way too hot. Yeah, your hair is gonna smell by the end of the second day. Yeah. He's just saying don't put shampoo in it every day, which I do understand that. I do understand that. I thought we were getting back on a conversation. I like how I guess today is just the day of tangents. We haven't really been talking about shit all day. I mean, that's not true, but we've had a lot more random conversations about bullshit today. I'm pretty sure it's my fault. Yeah, it's definitely my fault. Antara said my boy is back. What's up, Antara? 6-0 said no soap on your body is the best. 6-0, I can smell you from over here. I can smell you from my computer. Yeah, no, you need to put soap on your body every day, okay? Especially in your sanitation areas. Yeah, you need to wash your sanitation areas with soap every day. And if you don't do that, you're disgusting. You're literally disgusting. What's up, Ezra? Yeah, no, that's absolutely gross. See, this is what I'm saying. I'm like, look, in order for you guys to even catch up to the level of cleanliness I'm at, you guys would have to start taking like 5-6 showers a day for the rest of time. Just to get all that excess dirt, all that excess dirt that's been building up for all these years. I'm like, bro, I can't stand when people say, why would you take a shower before you go to the gym? That is the craziest thing ever to me, dude. I go to the gym and I take a shower at the gym before I get on the equipment. You understand? Like, you guys are disgusting. Yeah, well, I worked the whole day yesterday. I didn't shower last night. I woke up in the morning after sweating all night in my bed. I'm about to go to the gym around people. Why would I not clean myself? I'm going to stay dirty so I can get double dirty. You think that you can get double dirty, take a 10-minute shower, and then all that dirt goes away? That's legitimately what you guys think, huh? No, buddy. Listen, if you go 2 days without taking a shower, you got to take a double shower the next day. Y'all don't even know that, did you? You got to shower twice as long the next day if you miss one day. Twice as long. Dude, I mean, if you don't, then it builds up. Oh, God. How do we keep talking about this? Bernie said crusty. Listen, if you guys have ever heard the term crusty, this is literally what we're talking about, okay? You know how somebody becomes crusty? That's multiple days not showering. Multiple days, yeah. You leave the dirt on there, right? The dirt turns to crust, or like, hey, it turns to cheese. And then you put more dirt on top of that. And when you take a shower, you only washed off the top layer. I know this is not like usually like what we talk about, but this is important stuff right here. All right? You only wash off the top layer. Your ass gotta sit in there and soak in the tub, or you gotta scrub. All right? You have to scrub that asshole. Scrub the asshole. Listen. I don't want to get too far, but I'm just saying, like, if you gotta take them 2 fingers and get in there to clean it, do what you gotta do. Listen. Shout out Big J, because Big J is the one that came up with this. Listen. After you get out of the shower, all right, you should be able to take your 2 fingers and stick it in your asshole up to here, pull it out, and it be completely clean. I'm just saying. Maybe I'm going too far, okay? Oh my God. Bruh. Hey, you gotta get in. Listen, you have to get in there, okay? Shout out Terry. Terry said, I'm a trucker. They don't wash their hands after the bathroom. It's a truck stop, fam. Terry, I've seen that so many times. That it is what informs what I think today. I have legitimately been in the bathroom and seen many people come out of the toilet straight out the door. And I be sitting there, like this has happened to me, okay? I've been sitting there washing my hands. I've seen somebody do that, and I've had to pause, close my eyes, and meditate the disgust away. Like meditate. I'm like, how am I gonna touch that door? How am I gonna touch that door now? I gotta go, like, it's not even no paper towels in here. I gotta go get toilet paper, and my hands is wet, so now the toilet paper is all mushy, just so I can touch the door without passing out, because this nasty man just put his shitty fingers all over the door. You guys are disgusting. And thank you for that $20, Terry. I appreciate it. Listen, this is not usually what we talk about, all right?
Donations. Gifts. Bang up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
I'm weak. Hey, shout out Shantia. Listen, I swear to God, what you just listened to, that was a live footage of me in the bathroom watching that guy walk out. The dude was walking out, and I saw him walking toward the door. This is what I said.
Bang up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse.
He was like,
oh, Lord, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
That's literally what I was like, oh, Lord. I was about to pass out. Watching bro touch that hand, I'm like, bag up. No. Anyway. Listen, double tap the screen if you guys like the video, and sub if you like the content. I'm weak. Starby said, Rick, we freestyle tonight. Basically, I mean, nobody's giving me anything to respond to, so I gotta give the chat what they want. You know what I mean? Linda said, I have witnessed both men and women do it. It's so nasty. Shantia said, my ass is clean. Eat a booty game. No comment on that. I'll just say, listen, when you get out of the shower, all right, especially if you with me as a woman, when you get out of the shower, I better be able to stick a piece of gum in that ass, put it halfway in, come out, and you should still be able to see the sparkle from the mint on the gum. I'm just saying, if I can't stick a piece of gum inside you, pull it like halfway, pull it out, and still see the sparkle, you are not clean. I should be able to still eat that piece of gum. All right? I should be able to still eat the gum after. I'm just saying, without getting hepatitis. We're having fun, all right? Haley, we're having fun. Mystic said, not the gum. Mystic, the gum. All right, that's enough. Listen, you guys calm down. All right, that's enough. All right, you guys are all you're out of your mind today. All right, you're beside yourself. Listen, I know we're always super serious up here, okay? As you guys know, this is Real Offended, all right? We like to make jokes up here. We like to have a good time. All right, this is the happy movement. Don't forget that. This is the happy movement. Terry said he almost dropped a 50-pound dumbbell on his head. Terry, I'm sorry about that, man. I apologize. Let me calm. Terry's at the gym, and you know, my bad, Terry. Hey, Mystic said, Mystic is a fool. Mystic said,
Bang on, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
I'm just saying, man. Look. I'm just an overly clean person, okay? I'm just an overly clean person. If you're a woman out there and you listening and you plan on coming to hang out with me in the next year or so, listen. Hey, use the gum trick. All right, test it with the gum. If you can put the gum in and pull it out, all right, we're good to go. All right, we can have a good time. Oh my God. Haley said, love to see you in a good mood. Thank you, Haley. I appreciate that. I love being in a good mood. Eating gum out the ass, then blow a bubble. Listen, I'm just kidding, all right? I am not eating gum out of women's asses, okay? I'm not doing that. We're just using it to test if it's clean first. I'm not eating the gum. It's just a test to see if it's clean. You know, yeah. I don't want to, you know, anyway. You know, if I'm about to, you know what, never mind. Hey, Anthony said Yahtzee. Imagine I'm sitting there and I'm about to, never mind, you know what? Allegedly, all right? Allegedly, Jeremiah, thank you, allegedly, all right? Listen, I'm a Christian and a virgin, okay? I'm a Christian. All right, I'm a Christian, we do not do that. Shanti said, I'm about to go get some Jose. Shanti, like, y'all making me too horny over here. I'm finna go get some drink. All right, my bad. Indian Summer said, clutching my pearls. Hey. Indian Summer, I be clutching some pearls too. Listen, we have to stop, all right? We have to stop. Litim said, you are a fake Christian. Yeah, I was just kidding. That was a joke. I'm not a Christian, okay? Calm down. Rome said, yo, have you spoke on... Terry said, we out here today for sure. Rome said, have you spoke on history being lies? I have, but I don't mind going back to it. The reason why I say history is 100% lies is because of the version of history that we get in history class, all right? I know it's weird, right? We was talking about gum in the ass, and now we're talking about, but listen, roll with it, all right? Just roll with it. So the version of history that we get in history class is completely fabricated, and most of the time it's told in reverse. So I'm not suggesting that all of historical documents are fabricated, only the version that we get in history class. Thank you for that question. Indian Summer said, I'm a Christian and we all fall down on them knees. I know a lot of Christian women, and yes, they stumble from time to time, needless to say. Yeah, they be stumbling sometimes when they come in my house, you know what I mean? I seen Christian women come in my house and they lose their balance. They just start falling all over the place, you know what I mean? Falling on the floor, falling on the bed. All right, what's wrong with you? Hey, get up, knees is scuffed and everything. Father, forgive us, for we know not what we do. Star B says Saturday night is now roast night. Yeah, you know what's funny? Every night used to be roast night. Haley said, praise the Lord. Hey, Haley, praise God. Praise God. Yes, Lord, praise God. Whew. Praise God. Mystic said, I'm too sober for this. Yeah, that's why, who said that? That's why Shantia is like, I'm going to the liquor store. Superman, thank you for the GOAT trophy. Linda said, time to light up for sure. Hey, Linda, hey, I smoke a lot of weed to keep these yitches off my mind. I have to do it. You understand? If I don't do it, then... yeah, if I don't do it, I might end up pulling up at some of y'all houses. Listen, I'm an honest man, all right? I'm an honest man, okay? I never lie about who I am, okay? I am who I am. It is what it is. All right? If you are a beautiful woman, do not hang out with me after 1:37 a.m. You know what I mean? Like after 1:37 a.m., there's no need for us to be hanging out, all right? I'm an honest man about that, okay? I cannot control the type of person that I become when the moon is out. All right? The moon is out and I turn into a werewolf. What do you want from me? You made me like this. All right, you made me like this. You did this to me. It's not my fault. At least I'm honest about it. Yeah, listen, at 1:37 exactly, all right? 1:36, you might still be good. By 1:37, you need to be out the door, or... Listen, man. Listen, this is why I smoke so much, all right? All right, we cannot keep doing this, okay, ladies? Ladies, we cannot keep doing this, all right? We can't do this forever, okay? At some point, we got to settle down. Chris said, bark at the moon. Chris, that's a fact. Chris, that is literally a fact. I'll be outside howling at that moon, boy. Oh, my God. Honestly, honestly, it's not even a werewolf. It really is more like a great ape. And I know I shouldn't use that word, but hey, it is what it is, all right? I'm really like a Saiyan when the moon comes out. Nah, Shantia, no, actually, yeah. My point is I'm not going to be doing that, okay? I'm not going to be doing that. All right, that's why I'm saying it up front. So that way you, all right? So that way you know, just stay away from me, okay? I'm an imperfect man, but I am a man nonetheless. All right, I'm imperfect. I'm weak. My grandma said, checking them cheeks with Juicy's fruit after 7:39 p.m. Free my grandma said you don't get until 1:37. They said at 7:39 the Juicy fruit is coming out. That free my grandma. That is our new statement. All right. I appreciate you for saying it like that. Okay. Hey. At 7:39 the Juicy fruit coming out. Hey, for me, I give you till 1:37. You know what I mean? I'm a busy man. And, you know, early in the day, I'm usually doing stuff. And so if you're hanging around me at 7 p.m., we're chilling. You know what I mean? We're chilling. Yeah. Yeah, we're chilling at 7, you know, drinking, doing all that. I can consume alcohol until like about 2 a.m. You know what I mean? I can drink all day. Once 2 a.m. comes, it's like a switch. It's like I'm either going to go to sleep or I'm going to pull the Juicy fruit out. Yeah, hey, I'm either going to sleep or we're going to have a late dinner, all right? Jeremiah said, yeah, we're going to have a late, yeah. Hey, I'm like, at 2 a.m., look. Rome said mine is like 5 a.m. Yeah, Rome, you better, hell, listen, I'll be damned if my ass to be up at 5 a.m. and my face gotta be in front of a computer if I'm up at 5 a.m. or in front of some ass. There is no, if I'm up at 5 a.m., I'm in front of a computer or in front of some ass, period. All right, I am not talking at 5 a.m., okay? My vocal box is shut off at 5 a.m., all right? It's not even words coming out my mouth. I'm so serious, it's not even words, I'm just doing shit. Yeah, I'm not even talking that late. Like, huh, what? Like, you talking to me, I'm not even responding. All right, listen. Listen. I don't know how this turned into this. How did this turn into this? You guys are too, it's your guys' fault, all right? It's your guys' fault. All right, you guys are too, you know what I mean? You know what you are. You're too, yeah, Indian said, y'all are too lusty today. That's a fact. It's them, Indian. It's their fault, okay? It's their fault. Haley said, we should be ashamed, but we ain't. You know what, Haley? And I appreciate you for that, all right? I am so happy that you guys aren't ashamed. You know what I mean? I'm not like these other people, Haley. I really am not. I do not complain about what women do in their personal time. I enjoy what women do in their personal time, and I hope they keep doing it. Star B said, I'm definitely drunk. I mean, Star B, we could have guessed that. I mean, you're in the UK. Are you guys ever not drunk? I'm just kidding, Star B. You know we love you, man. Oi! Those two are with me. Hey, you know what, Star B? You know why I do also have such a deep love for European people, even though I talk about them the way that I do? You know, one of my favorite movies growing up, and the very first, not the very first, but probably the first movie, like as a teenager that I used to watch all the time that had nudity in it was Euro Trip. I mean, that was one of my favorite movies growing up. Not just because of the nudity, but because it's so funny. But I enjoyed the shit out that movie, and I still like it today. I still think about all the different quotes from all these different European people. It's literally one of the funniest movies ever. If anybody has seen that movie, right? Remember the dude on the train? Miscosi. Oh my God, bro. I love that movie so much, dude. Oh, as a matter of fact, when I was on TT, we used to do the Scotty doesn't know thing all the time. Because there's this dude that used to come in on TT whose name was Scotty. So we would be trolling him. But yeah, that's what that Scotty doesn't know. Bro, that movie is so legendary. Anyway, this is one of the reasons why I love European people, even though I talk about them the way that I do, because they are hilarious. I mean, how do you not enjoy movies like Euro Trip? No, shout out Chris, dude. Like I said, as a kid, I enjoyed it because of the nudity, but really, that shit is hilarious. Literally hilarious. Indian Summer said, I was so stressed before this live, I needed these laughs. You know what, Indian Summer? Maybe that's why we're off the rails today, okay? Guys, the reason why we're off the rails and you guys are all feeling so lusty, it's Indian Summer's fault, okay? Blame Indian Summer. Indian Summer is feeling lusty and they're stressed out because the lust is taking over them. I know why you're so stressed out, Indian Summer. It's because the lust, huh? Yeah, I know what that is. That's that sexual frustration if I ever seen it. Oh, Chris is like, safe word, what is that? Dude, that whole thing was just hilarious, dude. Yeah, like I said, I run through so many scenes from that movie in my head when I'm thinking of funny shit. I just, Anyways, that's why, even though I say the things that I say about European people, I really do love them. And I find them to be pleasant and great people. I'm not exaggerating, okay? I find Europeans, for the most part, to be pleasant, amazing people. That don't mean that I'm not going to tell the truth about what some of them are doing, though. Especially when they're over here lying about me. That don't mean that those two things can't happen at the same time. Terry said Indian Summer. All right now. hey, listen. Is this... That has to be like a Black American thing, right? Or maybe let me just say an American thing in general. Let me not just say Black American, right? But how is it that we all know what it means when I look at a female and I go, all right now. How do we all know what that means? That's so funny. I remember, dude, I remember one time when Candace Owens was on The Breakfast Club, right? Candace Owens was on The Breakfast Club trying to convince Charlemagne, of all people, that she grew up in Black church. Charlemagne was like, oh, you grew up in Black church? Okay, so when I say God is good, you say what? She was like, I don't know. God is good. God is great. God is fantastic. You see how Haley knows right away? Listen, I know you guys don't know that we know who is and who is not American. You understand? We know. Look at Linda. Look at Haley. Look at Indian Summer. You see how right away? You know how we all know that? Because we all grew up in Black church, and that's what we do in Black church. All right? Shout out Tariq Nasheed. This is why, even though, Tariq is kind of off base in some of his opinions and positions, I thoroughly believe that Tariq is a real Black American. I don't look at Tariq as a shill or a member of the three-letter agency because of little shit like this. Like, Tariq knows Black people. He is a Black American. Because he says shit like this naturally. Like, somebody called in to Tariq's show one time and was trying to tell him that they grew up in Black church. Without even missing a beat. Listen, without even missing a beat, Tariq was like, oh, you grew up in Black church? So when I say God is good, he's like, huh, what? Tariq was like, oh, you grew up in Black church, right? So when I say God is good, right, everybody who grew up in Black church knows that God is good all the time. That's what we say, all right? God is good all the time. That's what we say. Every person who ever went to a Black church for an extended amount of time knows this. Anyways, I just thought that was funny. So yeah, so like when Terry was like, Indian Summer, all right now. Indian Summer knew exactly what Terry meant. Terry was like, hey, you better get out of here before I do something to you. And you better get out of here, girl. Yeah. Hey, go on and get out of here. Yeah. Turing said, you are incredibly moronic. I respect your opinion on that, but if you can't prove me wrong, then who cares, right? Mitzi said, we speak a secret language. People want to join our club so bad. Well, they you know what's crazy? Some of them want to join the club. Most of them, they just want to seem like they're in the club. You know what I mean? It's like, just like, being, I don't like this example, but like being in a gang, right? See, nobody really wants to be in a gang. Some people do, right? Some people do. Most of the people, they don't want to be in the gang. They just want to wear the colors. They want to wear the colors, wear the flag, so that way they get the clout from looking like they're in a gang. These people don't want to be black people. Hell no. They just wish that other people thought they were so they can get, you know, the same swag points that we get naturally. See, like naturally, there's just like a swag to us that, you know, women gravitate toward, and it's actually really good for business. Right? It's really good for business if you have the natural swagger that black Americans have. And so, you know, people want to wear the jacket, right? They want to wear the black American jacket, but they don't want to actually be us. Although, like I said, some of them do though, yeah. You're right though, some of them for sure do, you know. But I would say most of them, it's just the jealousy overtaking them. And honestly, that's why a lot of them are really focused on just trying to get rid of us, right? They're like, well, the best thing we can do is just lock them up. Because if we lock them up, now they're out of the way. Exactly. Terry said, Paul Mooney said, everybody wants to be an N-word, but nobody want to be an N-word. Right? Yeah. You don't want to have to walk around dealing with your family members treating you the way they treat me. Think about it. A lot of, you know, white Europeans, they might like what black people have and want to represent it in certain ways, but they don't want to walk around being treated the way they know their family treats us. They know how their family talks about us. You don't think they know how their family talks about us? Yes, they all know that they got members of their family that hate black people, et cetera, et cetera. So they don't want that, but they want, you know, the, like I said, the swagger. Truth will always prevail, said Utah is Utah. Utah is Utah. Utah is Utah. I mean, etymologically, there's something there. Missy said, facts, envy takes over, but they wouldn't last 1 minute in our shoes. No, this is true. This is true. Not all of them, though. You know what I mean? There's this white rapper. I don't watch him like this, and I don't listen to his music, so don't quote me on some of the things that I'm saying, okay? But there's a white rapper named Milk, kind of a weird name, but whatever. His name is Milk. Milk was a foster child that was taken in by a black family and was raised his entire life by a black family. You understand? Like he can't help being what he is. You understand? Like Milk is not trying to be black. Milk is acting like his family members because that's who he was raised by. You see? So that's different. You know what I mean? He would survive just fine being a black person. No, I'm pretty sure that's his real name. I don't know if his black family named him that. I don't, like I said, I don't watch him and I don't listen to his music, but I've heard him tell his story. Yeah, Paul Wall too, right? Yeah, there are people that actually grew up around black people, and so their mannerisms are just what ours are because they grew up around us. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about those people, all right? I'm not talking about them. There are tons of people like that, like my boy Sheridan. Yeah, shout out my boy Sheridan. My boy Sheridan that I went to college with, he's from the Bay Area. Sheridan is fresher than every single black person that I pretty much know. You know what I mean? He's from the Bay Area. He grew up around black people, period. So that's all he knows. He wears fitted caps. He talks like a Bay Area person. You know what I mean? I won't say he talks like a black person. He talks like somebody from the Bay Area. He don't know another way to be. You know what I mean? That's all he knows. So that's the thing. Like he's not faking it. But there are a lot of people, yeah, like you know, Missy was saying, they just want to fake it, you know, but they don't want to be it because they could never identify. They could never last one day really hanging around black people like that. They could not last like that. My boy Sheridan will roast the shit out y'all. All right, yeah, he's a white dude from the Bay Area, and he will roast you. Facts, big facts. He will roast you, and he's fresher than you. So, yeah, what you gonna say to him? Nothing. Yeah, you're not gonna say shit to him, and I ain't gonna let you say shit to him. You know what I mean? That's how that go. You feel me? I will protect him with all my might, even though he's a white. It don't got nothing to do with black or white. That's my point. Haley said the reason why he went with the name Milk is because it was either that or mayo. By the way, I love mayonnaise, okay? I just want to be clear about that. Yeah, no, you know what's funny? Growing up as a kid that actually likes mayonnaise, it really wasn't until I started going to school. Like, when I started going to school and hanging around people, that is the first time that I actually heard the idea that mayonnaise is a white people thing. Because me growing up, I always liked mayonnaise, even though my brother and my dad do not eat mayonnaise. As you know what? My dad does eat mayonnaise. But my brother growing up, me and my brother have two different moms, you know what I mean? My brother's family is like, more hood than my family. They do not eat mayonnaise. Me, my mom's family is not, and so I grew up eating mayonnaise. I didn't even know until I went to school and I heard people say that, like, ew, you eat mayonnaise? That's white people shit. I'm like, what? Yeah, Linda. Yeah, like that. That's why I had to correct myself. Although my dad don't really eat mayonnaise like that, my dad eats Miracle Whip. Oh my God. No, I swear to God, my dad eats Miracle Whip, not mayonnaise. Jeremiah said, I'm in Minnesota. They definitely eat Miracle Whip. Oh my God. Indiegogo said the first time I heard it when I watched Undercover Brother. By the way, Undercover Brother is one of my favorite movies of all time. I mean, literally one of my favorite movies. That wasn't the first time that I had heard that, but because I had already started going to school by then. But I'm just saying, like, in a way, it was news to me. You know what I mean? That it was such like a white person thing in the black community. Because even though, like I said, even though my family don't really eat it like that, I still ate it because my mom eats it. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Undercover Brother is one of the most classic movies of all time. Not just one of the most it's one of the funniest movies of all time. Listen, out of the funniest movies of all time, the top 5, Undercover Brother and Black Dynamite are 2 of the top 5. I don't care what you say. Black Dynamite and Undercover Brother, whatever position you put them in, I'm fine. But those are 2 of the top 5 funniest movies ever, without argument. Terry said, yeah, that mayo gotta go on thin as hell. Yeah, Terry, absolutely. I think me and Terry grew up in similar situations because, yeah, I'm like, Undercover. We used to watch Undercover Brother just like over and over and over again. Like I would literally watch it every day. You know what I mean? Like every day, come home from school, do what you gotta do, sit down, put the movie on, and do what you're doing. Mar No Shadow said, okay, so explain. What do you want me to explain, Mar No Shadow? Guys, do me a favor, double tap the screen to like the video, and sub only if you like the content. We are gonna wind down now, probably. I'm gonna go get some food. Notice how I said probably. Marno said these claims. You're gonna have to be specific, all right? Which claim specifically? Guys, if you want a shout out, put your name in the chat right now, okay? Put your name in the chat if you want a shout out. If I have not shouted you out before, I would love to connect with you and show my appreciation by shouting you out. If you want to stay incognito, that's totally fine. Truth will always prevail said the geography in the Bible actually works in America, not in Europe. Visit PM. What's up, Visit PM? Would love to hear your America equals Atlantis take. Earth equals not a globe. Okay, I will address both of those. Product said shout out. What's up, Product? Okay, so the reason why America is Atlantis, why we know for a fact, is because of the stories and maps that show and describe its geographic location. Also because of the stories from the Europeans that describe the gold and technology that was found here and is still being used around the world till this day.
To this day. To this day.
And the most important part is the etymology of the word Atlantis. The ATL letter grouping comes from American languages. This is a fact. I've gone over this in depth. The language that you can research is the Nahuatl language. Okay, that is where you find the inception of these ATL words. All right, that's how we know America is Atlantis. Now, Earth not being a globe. Hold up. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. Star B said we're having too much fun tonight. Absolutely, Star B, we're having fun. I will literally cash app anybody $1 who knows where I got that from. It's gonna be very difficult. It's gonna be very difficult to figure out, but it comes from a comedy movie, one of the greatest comedy movies of all time. He goes, we're having fun. If you are good enough to get that, I'll send you $1. You know what? I'll send you $5 just because that's a really deep cut. And if you get it, it's worth $5. All right, so Truth Will Always Prevail said the island of Atlantis on the maps from the 1500s. Yes, I bring those maps up all the time. So the reason why we know for a fact that the Earth is not a globe is because the globe was debunked in 1901 using long-range radio wave tests. Okay, it was debunked in 1901 using long-range radio wave tests. We know this is a fact because this led to the invention of the ionosphere. The ionosphere was invented to explain why the Earth was being debunked by radio wave tests. All right. Not only that, the long-range military weapon systems, when they are mathematically calculating where they are launching these weapons, they must treat the Earth as if it's flat. Do you understand? They must treat, nope, it's not from Soul Plane. It's not from Police Academy. They must treat the Earth as if it is flat. Do you understand? When airplanes fly, they must treat the Earth as if it is flat. So that's how we know that it's impossible that the Earth is a globe. Last thing, the reason why we know for a fact the Earth cannot be a globe is because of compasses, okay? Compasses do not work assuming the Earth is a globe. They only work assuming the surface of the Earth is flat, all right? That's how we know for a fact it's not a globe. Linda said, my friends pulled on Atlantis and believed it was on the east coast of America because of the Atlanta connection. Someday we will know for sure. I agree, Linda. I agree. Someday we'll all be free. Shout out, Linda. Linda, I love and I appreciate you so much. Mr. said Atlantis is not real. Uh-oh. Dang it. I think Haley might have figured it out. Yeah, actually, Haley, you're correct. Now, what movie does it come from, Haley? Dang it, I'm going to have to send Haley $5. Yeah, Haley, you're right. Yes. But what movie does it come from? You're going to get it now. If you know who said it, yeah, Haley got it. Yeah, shout out Haley. Haley, I'm going to send you $5, all right? Make sure you remind me after the live. Haley, if you're in Discord, message me in Discord and say, don't forget my $5. I will send it to you. That's from Semi-Pro, yes. Oh my God, I can't believe you got it. Haley is gamed up. All right, Haley is gamed up. Yeah, there's a scene in Semi-Pro where the hippie dude was like the hippie dude was getting ready to take the full court shot, and then I don't know what he said first, but Will Ferrell was like, yeah, he's like you smell like you're on a little something right now, huh? And the dude started laughing, and he was like, ha, he's like, we're having fun. He was making fun of the dude for smelling like weed, all right? Oh yeah, no. Semi-Pro to me is top 5 funniest movies of all time. Top 5 funniest movies ever. He's like, shut your mouth, you jive turkey. He's like, what did you just say? Like, JT's a little over the line, my man. Oh, shout out Will Arnett. Will Arnett, man. Will Arnett definitely, I don't want to use the word carried, but Will Arnett was the just icing on the cake to that movie. He's like, can you stop smoking, please? No, I like to smoke when I drink. I do like Step Brothers. I think it's overrated, though. Yeah, I think it's overrated. And it might be overrated because of how much everybody else is in love with it. But yeah, I think it's overrated. I don't think it's one of Will Ferrell's best movies. Or him and one of John C. Reilly's best movies. But it's funny, though. I like it. Nicholas said, yes, snakes had legs and wings, though. That's a dragon. Oh, you know what's interesting? The Bible does say that the serpent used to walk on all four. Oh, wow. I just caught this right now. I wonder why the Bible says the serpent used to walk on all fours and could talk. A serpent walking on all fours, talking? That sounds like a dragon. And then God cursed it to only be on its belly. Is this the story of how we got rid of dragons? Yeah, Free My Grandma. I think Talladega Nights is way funnier than Semi-Pro. Yeah, Talladega Nights is, hilarious. Remember, I used to have that soundboard clip from Talladega Nights. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that on us. He's like, no, he needs to hear it. This is his mess. Oh, that movie, Talladega Nights is legendary. Talladega Nights is absolutely legendary. Talladega Nights is legendary. Semi-Pro is legendary. The other guys, these are all like some of the funniest movies that have ever existed. The Other Guys is like, literally like gut-wrenchingly funny. Like I said, the only thing that I can think of that's funnier than The Other Guys is like Semi-Pro, Black Dynamite, Undercover Brother, Tropic Thunder. Yeah, you got Tropic Thunder, Undercover Brother, Semi-Pro, Black Dynamite. Those are the only movies that are funnier than like the rest of Will Ferrell's movies. After that, it's like all Will Ferrell movies. Oh, old school. Oh my God, Blades of Glory. Dude, shout out my boy BK. BK, if you were out there listening, listen, me and my boy Brian watch Blades of Glory every single day in the summer between our junior and senior year. Every day. And we laughed at it every time. We laughed at it every time like we hadn't seen it before. We're going to skate to one song and one song only. Lady Humps by the Black Eyed Peas. What you gonna do with all that junk inside that trunk? I'm gonna get you drunk. Get you drunk off my lady humps. Oh my God. No, Blades of Glory is one of the funniest movies ever. Like I said, Step Brothers is cool, but Step Brothers is not funnier than Old School. Old School is so much funnier than Step Brothers. Dude, Old School is, bro. He's like, hey, honey, we're going streaking. Yeah, we're going streaking. Truth Will Always Prevail said, America feeds the world. We are the first agricultural empire in the world. As a matter of fact, this is one of the reasons why people think Egyptian history is in America, because Osiris was known as the god of the corn. Am I making this up? Somebody fact check me. Is Osiris the god of corn? Because if that's true, there was no corn in Egypt. Yeah, there was only corn in America at this time. So, okay. Oh, so you guys are saying the reason why he's the god of corn, because he was from Egypt, but he would go to America, take the corn from America and bring it back, and that's why they thought he was the god of corn. I'll accept either answer. Hey, whatever story you want to go, just let me know, and then we'll build on that, all right? Truth said all phenotype come from America. I love that they named those Komodo lizard dragons right after the name. Haley said, I'm all hopped up on Mountain Dew. Dude, I honestly, I look forward to next week when we start doing regular streams again, because then we'll be able to get into these conversations. And, hey, we might even do some movie nights. Yeah, we might even do some movie nights here, here on good old Real Offended. Omni said Egypt, Arkansas. Do you think quantum physics would answer whether or not life is simulated? Chris, not only do I think it would answer that, but we talked about what was coming out of the large particle colliders. And in the large particle colliders, they were starting to build the building blocks to understand the virtual nature of this world. This is according to Nobel Prize winning physicists from Princeton. All right, I didn't make this up. I played this the other day. Nobel Prize winning physicists from Princeton. This is how I heard about this. They were looking at the scattering amplitudes, and they were assessing it to mean that we live in either a simulation or some form of a virtual reality. This is what they were starting to discover in the large particle colliders. Now, they shut all these down, ironically. But yes, I do believe that. And I believe that that is why they were shutting down these particle colliders, not because they were opening up other dimensions. Or maybe they were opening up other dimensions, but not like in the sense of a wormhole. They were opening up the other dimensions of our mind so we can actually understand what's going on and, break free from this illusion. All right. Free my grandma said, Gator don't take no shit. Yeah, no, Will Ferrell is the GOAT, bro. Stop. Yeah, Will Ferrell's the GOAT. Yeah, he's the greatest comedy actor ever. I don't even think it's close, really. Although, even though I know a lot of you guys ain't gonna like this, shout out Kev, all right? Kev deserves his flowers. If we're talking about the greatest comedy actors of all time, it's Will Ferrell, and then really it's Kevin Hart after that. I don't care what you say. Kevin Hart is the greatest comedy actor ever, if not for Will Ferrell. Oh, his movies are corny. Whatever. Kevin Hart is consistently funny in almost all of his movies, and he's still funny to this day. I know a lot of you guys don't like his stand-up, but his stand-up is still funny. It's not the funniest stand-up. No, he's not the best stand-up. He is the greatest comedy actor, though, besides Will Ferrell. Yeah, Bill Burr is funny on stage. Bill Burr's not that funny as a comedy actor, though. Oh, yeah, Haley said, I love Get Hard with Kevin Hart. Yeah, listen, although the movie Get Hard was, a little corny, it's Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart, there were funny moments in it. These are two hilarious actors. You know what's funny? I actually haven't. Hold on. That's right. Kev was in the first Grown Ups, huh? But yeah, no, the first Grown Ups was hilarious. I didn't see the second one, I don't think. But the first Grown Ups was, oh my God, it was so funny. Listen, I agree. I know some of you guys don't like Kevin, okay? I'm just saying Chappelle is not the greatest comedy actor. No. Chappelle has the greatest comedy sketch show of all time. But. All right, Dave Chappelle has the greatest comedy sketch show of all time. A large part of that is because of Charlie Murphy. A large part of that is because of Eddie Murphy's older brother. You do know that, right? Yeah, I'm like, dude, think about what are the most memorable skits from Dave Chappelle's show. It would be the Prince skit. It would be the Rick James. Those are the two most memorable skits. You know, those skits are literally just Charlie telling a story. Yeah, Dave Chappelle show's greatest episodes is Charlie Murphy sitting down with a green screen behind him, telling a story, and them acting out his words. That's my point. So I'm not saying Dave is one of the GOATs, all right? But listen, like the rest of Dave Chappelle's sketches are great. Don't get me wrong. The rest of his sketches are great. I love the Black Bush. Black Bush is a great sketch, but the best of Dave Chappelle is Charlie Murphy. The very best of Dave Chappelle is Charlie Murphy. I love Dave. Jeremiah said, I think Eddie is the GOAT. Yeah, Eddie is the greatest comedian of all time. Yeah, and the only reason why I don't say that Eddie is the greatest comedy actor is because I don't find his movies as funny as I find the Will Ferrell movies and Kevin Hart's movies. I do think that Eddie Murphy is an amazing actor. I think Eddie Murphy is an amazing actor, but he's not the greatest comedy actor ever. He's a really good serious actor. But as far as comedians go, though, Eddie Murphy is the greatest comedian ever. Y'all forgetting Martin Lawrence. We are not forgetting Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence is one of the best comedy actors of all time. Yeah, I would say Martin Lawrence is top 5 comedy actors of all time. Yeah, Cat Williams is one of the, if we're just talking straight comedians, not like who is the greatest on stage or who's the greatest comedy actor, but who's the greatest comedian all around. See, that's where Eddie Murphy is at, right? Eddie Murphy is amazing on stage and he's amazing in movies. He's not the very best on stage. Eddie Murphy is not. Eddie Murphy's not the very best in movies, but he's the best at putting them both together. I would say Cat Williams and Martin Lawrence are right after Eddie Murphy in that. Yeah, he's right. They're right after because they're both funny on stage. They're not the greatest on stage, but they're both funny on stage. And they're both hilarious in movies. All right? I'm not sleep on Richard Pryor. All right? Shout out Rich. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, Cat is good both on stage and in movies, even though he's not the top at either. But he's one of the best at putting them together. Listen, look. We are way off base now, all right? Like the video. Double tap the screen to like the video and sub if you like the content, all right? Yeah, Martin is one of the GOATs. But I'm just saying, like, he's not necessarily the greatest comedy actor. He's not the best on stage, but he puts it together better than almost anybody. He puts it together, like, for example, I think Jamie Foxx, right? I think Jamie Foxx is... I think the Jamie Foxx show was funnier. How about this? I think the Jamie Foxx show is funnier than Martin. But Jamie Foxx doesn't put the two together like Martin. You know what I mean? Like Jamie is good here, good there, good here, and good there. Martin is like a titan where he's like consistently good at both things. You know what I mean? Yeah, I said Eddie. Eddie's the GOAT. All right, Eddie's the GOAT. Fremont Grandma said, "You seen the skit when Richard Pryor went to the cave and discovered the history of black people?" You know what? It sounds familiar. It does sound familiar, but I can't remember off the top of my head right now. So I'm going to be safe and say no. But remind me after this, and I'll look it up. Haley, make sure you don't forget I owe you $5. All right. Yeah. If you know where it's at, or if you have it handy, send it to me in the DM on Discord, and I'll check it out. Oh shit, that's how we started talking about comedy movies. Because I brought up the Will Ferrell thing and Haley guessed. Right, okay. All right, I'm gonna go get some food. Okay, my plan is to stream later. Okay? It's Saturday now, I don't have that much going on. But I'm gonna go eat, smoke a bunch of weed. I might get some drink. If I do get some drink, then it's questionable whether or not I'll stream later. If I don't drink, then I will be here later. The Long Halloween said, "Happy Sunday, homies." Haley said, "I'm not on Discord." All right, Haley, do you have Cash App? Hey, if you have Cash App, request $5 from me and I'll send it to you, all right? This is my Cash App right here. All right, only Haley, okay? Do not request money from me. Only Haley, okay? Diana said, "Do you think the earth is flat?" No, not the entire earth, Diana. Just the surface of the earth. The surface of the earth is flat. Martin as a comedy actor is my GOAT. The Martin Lawrence Show, Bad Boys, Big Mama's House. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, that's what I said. As far as the greatest comedians altogether, you gotta put Martin top 10. But I would put him close to the top 5 or 6 point because of how good he is on stage and how good he is in movies. It's very rare that you get somebody that does both. You know what I mean? You guys know that Will Ferrell don't do stand-up comedy, right? I think about it. Will Ferrell does not do. Well, listen. If you want the $5, Haley, okay, I always pay my debts. Linda, the only problem with Chris Rock is not that funny on stage to me. I think Chris Rock is a genius comedy actor. Chris Rock is closer to being Will Ferrell than he is to being... He's closer to being Will Ferrell than he is to being Richard Pryor or Eddie Murphy. You know what I mean? I consider Chris Rock closer to Will Ferrell than Eddie Murphy. Absolutely, Eddie Griffin, yeah. I can't believe I didn't mention Eddie Griffin this whole time. Eddie Griffin is one of those where... You know the reason why Eddie Griffin's career is where it's at is because of how good Undercover Brother is, right? This is why I say Undercover Brother is top 5 funniest movies of all time. And I'm, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I can't find it right now, but I will find this eventually. We don't usually talk about comedy on here, so it's not that big a deal. But there's definitely a bunch of different interviews where they're talking about the reason why they never did a follow-up to Undercover Brother, even though it was such a good movie, is because he was gonna make sure that he did it his way. You know what I mean? Like they were trying to get him to do a bunch of stuff on Undercover Brother that he was not doing. He's like, no, that's not funny. That's not funny. No, that's not funny. We're gonna do it the way I want to do it. I'm gonna say the lines the way that I want to say them. And because he did that, it's the funniest, arguably the funniest movie ever. You know what I mean? Right. It's arguably the funniest movie ever because of that. And they never wanted to work with him after that. You see, they never wanted to work with him. Think about it, Eddie Murphy hasn't done no movies since then. He had one of the greatest comedy movies of all time and then nothing. Because he's like, I'm not doing it the way you want me to do it. I'm going to do it the way I know it's funny. I'm going to represent myself the way I want to be represented. And that's how the movie's going to come out. And so that's why Eddie Murphy is blackballed from, Eddie Griffin is blackballed from the industry because of how good Undercover Brother was, basically. Like not only did he do it his way, but it worked. So yeah, they're like, nah, we don't like him. We don't mess with him. Somebody said Mike Epps. Yep, shout out Mike Epps, man. Mike Epps is another one of those too. Mike Epps is hilarious on stage, don't get me wrong. But he's not as funny on stage as he is in the movies. And no offense, like Mike Epps doesn't like destroy it on stage like, I don't know, people like Tommy Lee Davidson, you know. If anybody knows Tommy Lee Davidson, like Tommy Lee Davidson is like one of the most genius comedy actors ever. And if you've ever seen Tommy Lee Davidson on stage, he's a genius. You know what I mean? It's like, he's like literally genius. Tommy Lee Davidson is. So that's my thing with Mike Epps is Mike Epps does do what Tommy Lee Davidson does, but he don't do it as well. And so I can't put people like Mike Epps above Tommy Lee Davidson because he's just too funny. Linda said, my friends won a national talent show, TV style. They were offered a recording contract, but they had to change their music. They declined and went back to the clubs. Indian Summer said Harlem Nights and Coming to America. Absolutely. Harlem Nights was hilarious. Shout out Richard Pryor. That's why I say, listen, Richard Pryor is one of the GOATs. Don't get me wrong. It's just that Richard Pryor was doing it at a time where it wasn't that developed yet. You know what I mean? I don't laugh as much listening to Richard Pryor as I do listening to Eddie Murphy because it's before my time. You know, Richard Pryor is funny. I'm not saying he's not funny. It's just that when I watch Eddie Murphy, I'm like, this is the GOAT. I'm like, this is the GOAT. Even though Eddie Murphy admits, like, I'm just doing Richard Pryor. Eddie Murphy admits, I'm just copying Richard Pryor, but it's just like I grew up on Eddie, and so that's what I know, you know. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out Red Fox. All right, is there anybody that I did not shout out in the chat? Is there anybody that did not get a shout out? I'm finna go eat so I can come back later, okay? What's up, Sanjeev, Indian Summer, Shantia, Agent 005, Stay Frosty, Linda, we love and appreciate you. Bruce Jackson said he is a GOAT. Shantia, Mystic, Indian Summer, Mako Cam said Foolish was good too. Indian Summer, they probably wanted him to wear a dress or something. By the way, speaking of old movies that are hilarious, isn't that the movie I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, right? With the Wayans brothers? How hilarious is it now, looking back on that scene, right? When Keenan Wayans took that girl home from the club. Yeah, when Keenan took that girl home from the club and she started taking everything off, right? She took off the hair, took out the eyes, right? Took off the makeup, took off the eyelashes, took off the eyebrows, took off the leg. She was at home, she took the leg off. I can't take it. That shit is so funny, like looking back on it, dude. Yeah, speaking of Martin, right? Speaking of Martin, this is like kind of inside baseball, but if anybody knows Gina from Martin, Gina Gina was on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The scene that she was in on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was a reenactment of the scene that we just brought up. Some of you guys remember that, right? Remember that scene in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with Tisha Campbell, which is Gina from Martin? They were basically reenacting that scene from I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. Hey, stuck in the basement, sitting on a tricycle, girl getting on my nerves. Hey, I'm going out of my mind. I thought she was fine. Don't know if her body is hers. I don't care what you guys say. All right, even with all the things we found out about Will Smith, he's still my GOAT. I don't care what you say. All right, Will Smith is still the GOAT. I don't listen. Whatever. All right. Yeah, he's weird. Whatever. Stay Frosty said she had a little bow tie on her. Bro, that shit was so funny, dude. I'm like, as a kid, looking back on it, I didn't get it. You know what I mean? For real, I'm like, what? But now, as a grown man, and after seeing that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air scene, remember, she was like, can you open this for me? He's like, no, why don't you open it? She's like, but I like when you do it. He's like, why don't you use your nails or something? Missy already know. Why don't you use your nails or something? All right, fine. Look, here. You do it. He's like, ah. Oh my God. Shantia said, Will Smith, we from the same line of Smiths are popping. Shout out Will, man. All right? I will never turn on Will, no matter what you guys say about him. All right, I grew up on Fresh Prince. Okay? I grew up on Fresh Prince. What do you want me to do? All right? I was born in 1992. Oh, wow, I shouldn't have said that. It don't matter. I was born in 1992. Fresh Prince was launched in 1992. Somebody fact check me on that. Bruce Jackson said, can't hate Will. Well, you know, a lot of people do. And not that I don't understand why, because he's done some funny stuff, but Haley said, when's your birthday? Hey, my birthday is in June. Indian Summer said, I'm an 80s baby. Linda said, I was born in 1952. Linda, we are so happy that you could be an example for us on how to, become a more mature person gracefully. A lot of mature people, they're very bitter or they have a lot of regrets, and so they want to take that out on the world. I appreciate you for being such a pleasant person. Even though a lot of your, fellow, mature people are so negative, so Linda, I can only hope that one day I get to be the person that you are right now. And I mean that. I'm not being sarcastic. I really do mean that. My goal one day in life, my major goal is to one day get where Linda is. Shout out Dan Johnson. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. Haley said mine is May 2nd. We are less than a month apart. Oh, we might have to celebrate together then, Haley. Yeah, maybe we'll do a joint party. I'm just kidding. I don't celebrate my birthday. All right. If you did not get a shout out, you got literally 1 minute. You really have 1 minute this time. I'm getting out of here. I'm hungry now. Indie Go Girl said, I didn't mind the slap. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm not mad at the slap either. Yeah, F Chris Rock. I don't like Chris Rock like that. Like I said, he's a funny actor, but I don't find him to be that great of a comedian. Haley said, never too old to celebrate. Yeah, it's not that I'm too old. It's just that I don't like being patronized. I like working, Haley. If I'm gonna celebrate on my birthday, I'm gonna celebrate by working. You know, like, you know, I never understood how people will do stuff on their birthday for other people. All right, I don't do stuff on my own birthday for other people. I do not do that, okay? On my birthday, I'm gonna do what I wanna do, which is usually just work. Lord Rand said, this dude don't know comedy. Was that supposed to be some kind of insult? Listen, Lord Rand, let me help you out, bro. The reason why your insults are so trash is because your brain is underdeveloped and barbaric because these are your ancestors. I am just talking to Lord Rand, all right? I'm just talking to Lord Rand. The reason why your jokes are so terrible is because this is what you come from, bro, all right? Leave the jokes to the intelligent Europeans and the black people, okay? Your jokes are not good. I'm a Gemini, Shantia. Not that matters, but you know, you asked and I don't want to be rude. All right, Bruce, Muhammad, Duncan, Eli Morales. What's up, Eli? I didn't see you up there. Eli, Indigo Girl. Indigo Girl said 90s babies are the best. No shade, though. Haley, Harris Seed, Mystic, I love you so much. Indian Summer, I love you so much. Shantia said Aquarius. Linda, I love you so much, Linda. Randy. Stay Frosty. She had a bow tie on her head. That is so funny. Sanjeev. Reborn. What's up, Reborn? Duncan, thank you for the sunshine.
Donations. Gifts.
I appreciate that, Duncan. Kaiser said, yo, so can we do any debate? You're gonna have to wait until I come back, Kaiser. I'm about to go eat. Lord Rand said, that was no joke. Just like you had an opinion, I had mine. Okay, thank you. Linda said, love the mods, Linda, and we love you too. Bruce said, keep doing what you do. I'll keep coming. I'll keep coming. Pause. Much love. I'll keep coming. Much love. Have a good one. Yeah, listen, I know today we weren't into the topics as much, but, you know, I think we needed a break. You know, we've been focusing on a lot of very mind-intensive subjects for the past few months. So, you know, it's okay that we spend one day talking about comedy and talking about, you know, bubblegum in the ass, shit like that. Indiegogo said, it's the freaking weekend, baby. I'm about to have me some fun. Brew Jack said, coming back. Sorry. We're having fun. See, now you guys know why I do that. I literally, like, Haley, like, that's crazy. Every time that I do that, every time that I go, we're having fun, I'm literally thinking of Will Ferrell in Semi-Pro every time. That shit was so funny to me when I first saw it. He's like, we're having fun. Mystic said, my family shamed me for eating those. Mystic, you used to eat mayo sandwiches? Yeah, that's disgusting, Mystic. Yeah, the hippie dude, he's like, you smell like you're on a little something right now. We're having fun. Shout out Bruce, man. I appreciate you, dog. JJ, what's up, JJ? JJ, we're just about to go take a break. I'm more than likely going to come back later, but we'll see. There's a chance that I won't come back, but I am more than likely going to. Oh, all right. Bruce said you got to toast it first. That is disgusting. You guys are all nasty. You don't put no meatloaf between that bread. You better put some meatloaf between them buns. It just listen. It was at the rim. It was a layup at the rim. All right, Mystic. You better put some meatloaf between them buns before I come do it. All right. That's enough. That is enough. Okay. You guys are getting obscene. You're getting obscene. Meatloaf between the buns. That's wild. That is wild. I distance myself from those kind of jokes. Recovering said, is that a wig? Why there is Nordics advanced people in Antarctica? Nordics in the South? That makes no sense. That is interesting, Mark Vortex. All right, listen, we're out of here. I think I called out everybody, right? Mark Vortex, Recovering Mystic, Space Male. What's the difference? What is the difference if Earth is flat or a globe? I never said the Earth was flat. Thank you. Mystic said, "Oh my God." No, Mystic, not God, just me. Yeah, not God, but thank you. Yeah, I'm not your God, okay? All right, you are your own God, Mystic. Listen, I'm silly, okay? I'm silly. Relax. This is called Real Offended. Stop getting so uptight. All right, get your panties out of a bunch. Take them panties off. Recovering said Earth is a donut. Duh. I think he said it like that because he's like acting like he's making fun of black people. You know, Earth. Mr. said, good night, you freaky MFers. Linda said, that's from my time. Mr. said, I'm going to get you. All right now. Hey, Mystic, all right now. Don't threaten me with a good time. All right, listen, we're out of here. Is it a pyramid? Did you play the new Halo? The new one? I did not play the new Halo. But we're gonna start gaming in about like 2 months, maybe a month and a half to 2 months, depending on how long it takes us to build up our Twitch and Kick. We're gonna start gaming, and maybe I will play. The new Halo, because I was a big Halo fan back in the day. So yeah, I love Halo. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Okay, love ELE. Haley, this is for you. ELE. Everybody love everybody. All right, everybody love everybody. Haley knows exactly where that comes from. Earth doesn't exist, bro. We live in a simulation. Thank you, hardware. This world want to take a lot from people. Get mad when we rise up. Linda said, if I come back, tell me more. Oh, talking to Shantia. Absolutely. Shout out Linda, Shantia, Indigo Girl. I love you guys with all of my heart and all of my breath. At the end of the day, ELE. Jesus taught that. Everybody love everybody. And we will be back later. Shantia said, please stay woke. Hey, niggas creeping. We are on the Earth Lake, my boy. Shout out B Lake. Space said, keep it simple. All right, I think that's it. Y'all be...